Gus and Rusty Helzer back in Raleigh. And Trip, before they drop the puck, what's your thought here on game number 4?
Big adjustment for Washington if this stays. Strome and Ovechkin have been split up. Wilson enters this line with Strome on the right side, so that is a definite adjustment if this stays true.
Well, starting for Carolina is the captain, Jordan Staal, with William Carrier and Jordan Martinook. It's Wilson, Strome, and McMichael up front for Spencer Carberry. And here we go, Canes. They win the opening draw, and they'll send this one around the boards. Chicklin looks to clear. Carolina will knock it down. Making a play is Chatfield, but Washington able to shoot this one in between the blue lines with Orlov to it. Right back in, Logan Thompson will have to hang on. The goaltending matchup, Frederik Andersen, 5-2 this postseason against Logan Thompson, who is 5-3. And Frederik Andersen leads all goaltenders in every single category this postseason, Trip. And you can say that he was the man of the match. Now Washington with a chance on the backhand, and a save made by Mr. Andersen early on that as McMichael got free.
Great save, moving one way, low save the other.
Now Svechnikov tries to pick the high corner, and that goes off the shoulder of Thompson all the way around. Aho will keep it in, burns his shot, deflects, and that goes just wide of the net of Thompson. Behind the net it goes. Slavin jumps in. It'll be knocked away from him. Dubois sends this forward. That's clanked off the middle by Protas. Rebound chance, and Andersen gets across and will make the save as he gobbles that one up.
Boy, Washington has had two good chances in this game. McMichael and now Protas, who had 30 during the year. Starting his shift, you knew Washington was going to try to stretch the ice in transition. And with all the posts that Carolina's hit, Protas tried to go to the glove side, goes off the post, and then Freddie, right after, is able to make a save and hold on. So some early puck luck, Mike, to Carolina.
We'll see if that'll be a good sign of things to come here. Face off to the right of Andersen. It's booted out to the point. It'll be kept in. Van Riemsdyk's long drive is deflected away. Rebound out in front. Carrier will get to it. Can't clear.
And now Ovechkin is with both Strome and Wilson. So it's really a all your eggs in one basket line, a clear-cut adjustment.
Now Martinook will line this one around the boards. Van Riemsdyk gets a stick to it. Slavin entangles with Wilson. Wilson goes down easy. There's nothing there, and this puck back in the King zone. Carolina with a diagonal pass for Hall, who puts a long shot on it. The top of the left circle, kicked away by Thompson. Now along the board, Stankoven fighting for it. It'll be pitched forward, and Washington, Mangiapane was offside. Played it, had to get on the right side and keep things moving. 2 minutes gone by here in this first period.
Svechnikov, who scored the all-important first goal on Saturday night, continues, like Carolina, to challenge Thompson over the shoulders from a sharp angle. That has clearly been part of their game plan.
And this might be the master of the obvious statement, but you get the feeling the first goal tonight here will be equally as big as we saw on Saturday. As Chatfield keeps this one in. His pass goes off the end boards. Too much for Taylor Hall. Hall will get a second chance, but Roy will move it around. And a big hit delivered as Carolina has been shaking that not-so-physical moniker as Kotkaniemi delivered the hit along the boards.
Well, he hit Leonard, the prized Boston College former Eagle, back in the lineup, and Kotkaniemi, first shift, cleanly finished him.
Now Washington will poke this one to center ice. Walker tried to spring it free, but it'll roll into the King zone where Sandin will play it around. Knocked away past Carlson. Robinson, who scored his first goal of this playoff series and his first goal of this postseason in game number 3 with a beauty that went back bar down. Washington with it now. Beauvillier drags and shoots. Andersen makes the save and pounces on the rebound. Face-off coming up in the Kane zone.
You know, we're just over 3 minutes in, Big Rick, but the Caps are generating some solid speed in the neutral zone. You know, they've had, I think, 2 good chances. Protas the best chance. And there you're able to seal the shot from a distance. But the Caps they're flying the zone, I think, more prematurely as soon as they think they're getting possession. And you can see there's a major emphasis for them onto creating more speed. between the two blue lines.
Face off now to the left of Frederik Andersen. Aho in the circle, it'll bounce free, and Dubois gets it to Protas. Protas, though, sealed off by Burns. And the Canes will take this one out. And it was skated as far as the blue line by Jarvis, knocked back in. And now Burns, he'll play it up. Svechnikov across Slavin. He goes high. His long shot kicked away by Thompson, and it'll find its way over the Washington blue line. Now Slavin wants to play it away from Protas. And the big Russian winger will throw this one into the Cane zone. And now to be sent up for Aho. Aho. He drops it back for Svechnikov. He'll send it right back for Aho. He'll dip and turn away from Sandin. Now Jarvis with a shot right on. And the save is made as Thompson got across.
Big game for Aho and Jarvis. And that was a good chance that Sebastian set Seth up with.
Now Carolina back into the zone. It'll be knocked away from Carrier and tipped up Ovechkin into the Hurricanes' end. He sweeps one out in front. Goes all the way across to the corner. Deflected just wide of Anderson's net. Kept in by Karlsson. His shot waved at by Andersen. It'll be kept in by Sandin. Around the boards, Wilson with it. Wilson hands it off for Strome. Strome's pass is picked off. Orlov with it now. Orlov one-on-one with Karlsson. Orlov shot blocked by Karlsson. He gets to his rebound, and that'll be knocked away.
Nice recovery from Karlsson there off the end boards after he struggled in game 3.
Now Ovechkin into the Cane zone. Watched by Gostasbear. He'll get that out to the point. That'll be deflected wide. Van Riemsdyk wants to keep it in, can't. Strome is going to go for a change, and Washington's Alexiev plays it up. And it'll be flipped in by Van Riemsdyk into the Cane zone. Kept in. Nice play as Eller wanted to center it, but the Canes, Walker and Gostasbear make sure it doesn't get on target. And chipped into the Hurricanes end once again by Eller. Knocked away up for Stankoven. He gets it to Hall. Hall tries to drop it back for Stankoven. Excellent defensive play made by Washington as Mangiapane broke that up. Now pass to the middle of the rink for Roslovic. He'll feather it across for Hall. Left circle. He'll dip behind the net. Taylor Hall. He gets this back, and this shot by Burns is deflected. Another block for Washington in this series.
As soon as Leonard blocked it, you had Eller fly in the zone. They're going to do more of that. They're trying to create breakaways with Carolina's pressure. Ovechkin lost his skate blade, had to be helped off the ice.
Now Carolina trying to chip this out of their zone. Duhaime with it. Sent back Sandin. Shot goes off the catching glove of Andersen. Now up the left wing boards. Kotkaniemi loses an edge. And this puck will roll its way out over the blue line. Washington will take control. 13 minutes, 35 seconds left here in the first period. And this puck centered out in front as Beauvillier tried to get that for McMichael. He'll scoop up the puck back for Karlsson. Karlsson shot through traffic, kicked away by Andersen. Fighting for it along the boards. Robinson pushed it forward, but the Caps on it. Chance here, and Nick Dowd might have got away with a little bit of a hold here. And then this puck. So we're going to get.
I think they said that it hits something. What you're going to take us to the commercial break. Smart move using Slavin in particular right before the break, even in a non-matchup situation.
13-12 left here in the first period. Still looking for a goal at Lenovo Center. You're listening to Carolina Hurricanes playoff hockey on the Hurricanes Radio Network.
Barbecue season is back. Hey, it's Ellen.
And this is Sarah Beth.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese,
I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than
here, and I thought he and Jarvis had a particularly good morning skate, and I'm going to make this very clear. You need a night where you notice Aho shift in, shift out.
As a shot from the circle is caught and hung on to by Frederik Andersen, so that took 3 seconds. Another face-off here in the Kane zone.
You know, Mike, I say that because the majority for me of Sebastian's signature moments in his postseason career have come in first rounds. And you've been able to create a 2-1 series lead. He's had a couple of assists, but you need a night where he demands the puck.
Now the Caps won the draw, but Chychrun couldn't hang on to it. Now it's rolled back by Roy, and Thompson will get a glove. He wanted to move it, but a quick whistle. So a offensive zone draw coming up here for Carolina.
Yeah, it's Garrett Rank, as you mentioned, working this game with Johnny Bear, that goes with a quick whistle. And I think for either goaltender, that's smart. Because sometimes if you give a couple extra seconds, they can create a breakout in and of itself by holding on to the puck. And Carolina gets an early offensive zone draw where not as decided as it was on Saturday night, but an early push here from the Caps with 7 shots on net.
And if you're Carolina, 7 minutes gone by here in this opening period. Looking to get some offensive zone time, and it'll be Kotkaniemi with Jackson Blake and Eric Robinson. Blake and Robinson both scored in game number 3. Kotkaniemi, as Blake takes the draw, goes into the corner for it. It'll work its way around the backboard. It'll be chip free and skated out to safety for Washington. It'll be rolled into the Kane zone. Turning with it, trying to make a play is Walker. Jumping in on that is Duhaime. Beauvillier wanted to deliver a hit, knocked away. Now Robinson has a step into the Washington zone. Sandin jumps into him, but Blake will get to the loose puck. Blake sealed off in the corner wall. Sandin, he's taken down. Puck comes free. Sent out front for Kotkaniemi, and Thompson makes the save. Kotkaniemi couldn't get all the blade to a sweeping backhand try.
Nice job of coming up with a puck in the trenches in the Washington zone, but it started with Walker moving the puck with pace out of his own end.
Now Ovechkin drags and shoots, and that goes wide as Washington took a puck into the Kane zone for half a second. Now Svechnikov backing off the Washington defense. His shot deflects to the left of Thompson. Burns will keep it in. Looking for a redirect. That'll be taken away. And skating to the Canes blue line is Leonard, but offside. Correction, Chychrun. Offside are the Caps with 11:49 left here in the first.
Playoff series is all about adjustments, and you can see it with regularity. Burns just got a puck to the net from the offensive blue line quickly, Mike. And Washington came up with a big block in front. But as soon as that block, or even before it happens, Ovechkin's flying the zone. Jarvis was there, he sniffed it out. But Leonard had one, and he had Eller fly in the zone. So that's something that for me is really pronounced here early. As soon as that puck is going in, Washington anticipating a block, they're flying a guy through the neutral zone.
Something that we'll have to keep our eye on, and that was also something during the course of the regular season trip. We remember that teams were trying to take advantage of, as Carolina will bunt this one into the Washington zone. It'll be scooped up by Roy, and Hall couldn't keep it in, but he'll spin around and throw this one back into the Washington zone. Thompson can't play it. Fighting for it along the boards is Chatfield. This will be cleared out, and now Leonard racing for it, but they're going to get an icing call against Washington with 11:18 left here in the first, still looking for a goal.
It seems to me, and the statistics back it up, that Carolina has taken time in the playoffs so far, New Jersey and now Washington, to build a face-off game. And now they've had a couple offensive zone face-offs here in the early going. Can they get back to winning these face-offs here, Aho, clean?
Well, big opportunity here for Sebastian Aho against Lars Eller, a longtime pro and a member of that 2018 Caps championship team, and Eller wins it 20-20. But a bouncing puck is kept in by Carolina. Svechnikov, top of the left circle. Look at it to Jarvis. Now a long drive by Aho. Waved at by Thompson. Kept in on the right wing boards by Burns. Great play by Jarvis. Seals off his man. Aho. One touch. Slavin out in front. That's redirected. He had Jarvis right there. Svechnikov with a big hit in the corner. And again kept in by Burns. Slavin jumps all the way up from the left point. Down the boards. It works its way for Jarvis. Jarvis is shot right up high. Save Thompson. Puck will find Burns. Burns can't get the shot through. It's blocked. Loose puck. Top of the left circle. The puck's touched with a high stick from Washington, and another offensive zone draw coming up for Carolina. And the ice might be tipping just a little bit here with 10:38 left in the first.
It's the best shift of the game so far for Carolina. Jarvis in particular. Jarvis was physical, won some 50-50 pucks, and when he went across the ice, did Jarvis to Slavin. Slavin held onto the puck for an extra split second to allow the net front to materialize. Good decision.
James win the offensive zone draw. Chatfield down the left wing boards, has to play it around Protas. He'll get it to Carrier out in front. Thompson with the save, and then he denies Stahl, who had 2 slashes at it out in front.
What a terrific chance, a better save. Carrier moving from right to left, utilized the back of the Washington net. And Stahl was alone in front. I mean, a pretty zippy pass from Carrier to the captain. And Stahl tries to go low from close range. Thompson was able to seal it between the legs. Outstanding chance.
Well, Carolina right now has started to put together 2 good shifts, all in the Capitals offensive zone. Can they get a third? As Kotkaniemi sends it to the boards. It's played out. Blake, he tries to fight for it. Sandin gets it forward to Duhane. Sent forward. Thompson had to be ready. He pokes that away, and Washington can clear. Gostasbear waiting for it at his blue line. He'll backhand it out for Blake. Blake touches this with a high stick, so Sandin will have to play it. He will. Around the boards. Good read to seal by Carolina.
Walker had that read. He has been on his toes early in this hockey game.
You know, with how he plays, Tripp, I just have to bring the stat up, and people seem that we can speak things into existence. He has not had a playoff point in his career. Now Robinson with it, back for Kotkaniemi. Tries to drag it back. Now Gostasbear with it. Gostasbear hanging on. Walker will make a change. Now Gostasbear, he scores! Top of the left circle! And Carolina gets the hot start. They're up 1-0. Shane Gostasbear.
The series-changing goals continue from Carolina's defense. Mike, you just spoke it into existence because you know who stepped up in the neutral zone to create that whole flurry? Sean Walker. He may not get a point on it, but he started the whole thing. You go back on offense instead of playing defense. Gostasbear held onto the puck right at the blue line. It nearly was offside, but it wasn't. Gostasbear waited to maximize the net front. I don't think Thompson ever saw it. Boy, those two, Walker and Gostasbear.
Takes a hit, so does Chatfield, but Canes move this one out. Orlov knocks it down at center ice. It'll be Ovechkin to it. Across for Van Riemsdyk. Now Orlov with an intercept at center ice. Stahl, he'll get it in deep. He'll send this one around. Thompson, he can't get to it. Hall can. Across the ice it goes. Roslovic centering it out in front. It'll come all the way back to the point. Slavin will keep it. Now Burns with traffic, tries to go high glove, just misses. Hall back for Burns, he tries it again, and Burns' stick breaks again. Little deja vu from game 3. Slavin keeps it in at the left point. Burns has got new lumber. Slavin tees it up, low drive kicked away by Thompson, and Wilson will fling this one back into the Cane zone, and it will be icing on Washington with 8:23 left here in the first, and a 1-0 Canes lead.
And that'll bring the huge Caniac crowd to their feet. For me, this whole push started with a shift from the Aho line with Jarvis and Svechnikov. Carrier and Stahl backed it up. And then this pairing that has really made a difference. Walker and Gostasbear get you the first goal. The Hurricanes skated for the first time in a while in terms of a morning skate. I think Rod did it because he knew his team needed a better start, and he's gotten it.
For Shane Gostasbear, it is his 3rd goal of this postseason. And for Carolina to continue to get the offensive contribution from the blue line. And you can give the assist to Kotkaniemi and Robinson. That is exactly when you make those little tweaks and changes. Yep, what you want to see. Now Aho with it in the Washington zone. At the left wing boards. Shot up top, doesn't get through as Walker's drive is bounced off of McMichael. Walker goes back to play it. Knocked down in the neutral zone, and Dubois plays it back for Roy. Canes are moving right to left. On your radio dial, iPad,
Consume
iPhone.
those devices.
Oh, and all of these devices you're consuming it on as Washington is offside, and Roy and Svechnikov getting to know each other. Jarvis jumps in. And Jarvis has got a little face wash going on for the Washington defenseman here with 7:40 left.
They're going to make a call. The question is it going to be one aside here in 4-on-4 hockey?
Carolina 24, minor penalty for roughing.
Ooh.
No, just one.
Wow, that's... You don't often see just one call. You usually see one aside in a scrum like that.
Well, with 7:40 left in the first, Washington gets the first power play here tonight. But the Canes have the first goal. Shane Gostasbear's third of this postseason has Carolina up 1-0 here in the first period. You're listening to Canes Playoff Hockey on the Hurricanes Radio Network on 99.9 The Fan.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
For almost a decade, the Hurricanes have trusted their t-shirt needs with Cardinal Apparel. Carolina Hurricanes alumni Shane Willis here to tell you Cardinal Apparel has expanded and relocated to better serve their clients across the state. Formerly known as Raleigh Screen Print, Cardinal Apparel will produce high-quality screen printing while working directly with customers. Don't waste your time online trying to order through third-party vendors. Save money and time working with Cardinal Apparel. Visit cardinalapparel.com to start your order today.
Who wants to save up to $1 a gallon on gas with Harris Teeter fuel points? It's easy. Shop at Harris Teeter with your VIC card. Earn 1 fuel point for every $1 spent. Redeem your points for gas savings at Harris Teeter fuel centers and our partnering Amoco and BP gas stations. You can even check your fuel points in the Harris Teeter app. Get 4 times the fuel points when you shop on Fridays. Harris Teeter, in food with love.
7:40 left here in the first period. Canes penalty killers will be pressed into action as a roughing call against Seth Jarvis. In the postseason, Carolina trip have killed 21 of 22 in this series, 6 of 7. Washington overall in the playoffs, 4 of 20. The faceoffs won by Carolina, looking to clear, but Ovechkin will keep it along the right wing boards. Burns to it first. Now he's got Slavin, and Slavin's got room, and he will use the backhand aerial flip this one all the way back into the cap zone.
It's not easy to get that loft on a backhand with pressure that Slavin did. I mean, for me, that's a surprising call after the whistle to just send one, but you got to kill it off.
Now, long shot snapped into Andersen's glove, and he will calmly put it down, and he will serve it all the way back into the Washington end.
And no Jarvis because he's in the box, so Robinson will assume his role, killing with Aho.
They're out up top right now, Burns and Slavin, the 2 defensemen behind. Chikrin wants to go with a little self-pass. Burns swats at it, but that'll be knocked off of Chikrin over the glass into the netting.
Mike, you want to come up with a kill period, but anytime you can get a whistle and reset like Burns just did, stick on stick, goes into the netting, now you can change your defensive pair. Yeah. Now you can come back with Stahl and Martino. And especially when you have a penalty killer in the box, these whistles are a good thing.
6:51 left here in the opening period. 1:12 left in the penalty to Seth Jarvis. Stahl will take the face-off to the right of Frederik Andersen. Orloff helps dig it free, but Wilson gets to it, and he'll wrap it around the boards for Karlsson. Kept in by Strome. Across Ovechkin, deflected out in front by Wilson, and another save by Andersen, and a bouncing puck gets past Ovechkin, and Carolina will change up Stahl and Martinook.
And because Orlov got out on the one-timer of Ovechkin, Freddie Andersen knew it would not be a shot, just a close tip in front. Good play.
Now Orlov with a good job along the boards to seal this one, and Aho with it. He'll push it for Robinson down the left wing boards. Robinson fakes the shot. He'll get it back, and he's swatted at by Carlson, and he'll play up behind the net. Nice play there by Robinson. Aho. He and Robinson exchange it. Aho behind the net. He'll get a tap. 22 seconds left here in the penalty kill. Dubois tries to fend off Robinson. He does. Robinson will head to the bench for a change. Washington trying to find entry in the Kane zone, and it's offside with 11 seconds left. Dubois doesn't think so, but the linesman does. In just 11 seconds in Carolina's penalty kill.
Clinical job of making it tough to get power play entry. And Stahl just starting. I think that's his third shift of this penalty kill. And when you can have guys like Stahl have 3 shifts within a penalty kill that has 11 seconds left, you're cooking. Because they're fresh, it means you're getting some solid clears.
And the good news is Jarvis can join this line because he knows how to play with them. Doesn't have to head right to the bench.
Right you are, Eddie Vedder, having taken in Pearl Jam last night here in the building.
I can tell you that concert is in my rearview mirror right now, but it was a good one. They didn't play that song last night, in case you were wondering.
The Canes are alive here.
Yes,
see what they can do.
Now's Jarvis with a shot. That's deflected by Roy off the glass and into the netting. Well, the even flow here is all Carolina's way. 1-0 with 5:32 left in the first period. The Hurricanes have that lead over the Caps in game number 4. You're listening to Canes Playoff Hockey here on the Hurricanes Radio Network.
Canes fans, something big is happening this season. Our favorite hometown technology giant, Lenovo, is celebrating 20 years in the Triangle, and we're all getting in on the fun. Grab your jersey.
A little bit more than the halfway mark is the goal marker in this first period.
And 7 goals now in the postseason from your defense. 7 after none of the guys in the back end had 10 during the regular season. You talk about an X factor.
As Washington will win the draw to the right of their netminder. Roslovic loses his stick. He needs a new one from the bench, and he'll get it. Walker on the puck in his zone, up for Hall. He'll play it for Stankoven. Stankoven forces Roy to throw this one quickly. Now a chance to keep in by Walker. Tries to find Stankoven, but the pass a little too short to get to Logan Stankoven, and now it'll be a icing on Washington as they didn't play it properly. 5:06 left here in the first.
Beginning of the series, I think you and I talked about it. You know, the one edge that I thought Carolina, because these are two outstanding teams, the Hurricanes had, especially with the injury to Martin Farivari, is the blue line. Yeah. And I mean, look at it. In the balance and ice time, the Walker and Gostasbear just finished a shift. They've been heck of a story.
Now Kotkaniemi will take the draw. Eller is out there and helps win this face-off and chip forward. Protas has it knocked away. Puck in front of the Canes bench will find its way for Kotkaniemi into the Washington zone. His low drive will be sticked away by Thompson. Into the corner it goes to the right of the Washington netminder, Trevor Van Riemsdyk. He'll move it forward, and then Alexiev will settle it down. That'll allow Carolina to at least change one of their forwards as Robinson heads to the bench. Dowd overskates the puck, but turns around to play it back in the Cane zone. Dowd sends it rink wide. It'll be kept in. Long drive there by Alexiev is blocked off of a shin pad. Beauvillier with it. He'll get as far as the left circle and send it around the boards. Van Riemsdyk lets it go. Duhaime played it to Alexiev, back into the corner. Blake tries to get a stick to it. Van Riemsdyk does. It goes off of Chatfield. Kept in by Washington. Kotkaniemi reaches around Beauvillier and is able to knock this one up and finally out of the zone with 4 minutes left here in the first period. Van Riemsdyk on the right side of center ice for Washington flips this into the Cane zone. Burns to Slavin. And then a chance for Hall. He flings this one out. Martinook will get to it. Martinook in the Washington zone will dip this into the corner.
Oh, was just coming on the ice, but he got it deep, did Martinook. What do we have here, Mike?
Penalty. It looks like it's going to be a high sticking call behind the play.
It's going to be to Martinook. Chychrun was clipped. Will it be 2? Will it be 4?
From the look right now, don't see any.
I think it may be calling
visible,
4.
But yeah, here comes the call.
Carolina 48, 4 minutes, high sticking.
Oh, another penalty killer. I'm going to be very blunt. I did not like the first call. This one is a no-brainer. Your penalty kill, which has been everything that it was as the first-ranked kill in the regular season. At the conclusion of this, if it goes to the duration, it'll be 6 minutes to penalty killing forwards. Jarvis and now Martinook. This is beyond huge against a Washington power play that is fighting for belief in life. Their only power play goal, Carlson from Wilson, back in game 2. Huge moment here with the double minor.
Well, trying to pull a silver lining out. The Canes do get Jarvis back, so he'll be with Aho when they get the chance. But Washington will win this face-off back for Carlson. He tries to feed that one, and he does for Strome, but he's muscled. And Carolina clears the blue line, and now Stahl with a stick. Got it across as Jarvis is actually starting in Martinook's spot here with the captain, Ovechkin.
And Chychrun, who was clipped, back on the ice with the puck. If you kill this whole thing off, you're going to win the hockey game.
Strome winds it around the boards in the Cane zone. Burns plays it up. Jarvis. He saw that Ovechkin was coming, took the hit and cleared it. But Washington sends it back in, and then Strome tips it out, and now they're offside. So there's 3:17 left in the penalty. We'll pay attention to the game clock because there's less time remaining in the period, which is 2:53.
You know, it's about 15, 20 feet inside the Carolina blue line when Ovechkin, who's been quiet in this series, is concerned about contact on the power play. Jarvis shorthanded. For me, and Jarvis absorbs it, gets it out. That tells me right now you're in their kitchen. Got to keep going.
Now there's nothing better than getting into your opponent's kitchen and eating the meal. See if Carolina can continue to do that. As now here's a giveaway. Mangiapane couldn't handle it. Aho with it. Aho, he'll hold on. And it'll be knocked away, but that's all right as Orlov will come to it. And he'll bounce one in on Thompson, who got to kick that knuckleball into the corner. 2:20 left here in this first period. 2:40 remaining in the double minor. To Jordan Martinook. Dubois As his pass knocked away by Jarvis, and then he'll knock it all the way back down into the Washington zone.
Boy, that is just exceptional work by Jarvalicious. He knows that he took an earlier penalty and that Martinook's in the box right now. Is he ever rising to the occasion?
Now Washington tries to get it past Jacob Slavin, and no dice. Slavin paws it out. Now another chance to get it in. Carlson goes down the right wing board. Slavin is there. It comes out to Stahl, and Stahl banks it off of Ovechkin. And the first half of the double minor is over. Now 90 seconds left in the first period. And 1:50 left in the penalty to Jordan Martinook. Puck rolls in. Andersen will get to it. That'll bounce off of Wilson, but back to Orlov. Orlov takes a look and gets a bounce and knocks it out of the zone. And Aho was trying to pick Ovechkin's pocket, but Washington's able to play it up. Wilson into the Kane zone, given away by Strome. Strome gave it away to Aho. 2-on-1, shorthanded. Robinson with it. Thompson with a save. Oh, that's a brilliant save, shorthanded for Logan Thompson.
Had that gone in, you would have heard the roar in Antarctica.
Now Chatfield will get this one across, and Orlov will fling it down.
45 seconds left in the period. Little overflow in this power play. If Carolina gets to the buzzer, you're going to hear a mayhem response.
Well, now it's McMichael to the Canes blue line, wrapped around the boards. It'll be kept in. And Sandin works it down for Dubois. Stahl trying to get to it. Canes fans are into it. Sandin gets it across. A shot is rocketed just wide of Anderson's net, and it comes across the blue line. 15 seconds left in the period. Burns to it. Burns given a shove by Leonard. Puck comes out in front. A chance for Washington. Deflected just wide. Oh, Andersen was at the top of his crease. And Washington misses a glorious chance. And Carolina will send this to length of the ice. And that is how the first period comes to a close. Carolina, 24 seconds left to kill a double minor, but up 1-0 after 20.
Mike, did Andersen get a piece in desperation with his stick of that quick pass just outside of the crease? I'm not sure if he did, but whether it was a Carolina stick or Andersen actually fought and got a piece. Beyond extraordinary penalty killing, it could change everything. Boy, what a job by this top-ranked penalty kill in the regular season. You got to feel really good about where this thing is at in the intermission.
Well, coming up, Adam Gold has the intermission report. Carolina on Shane Gostasbear's third of the postseason has a 1-0 lead after one here in Game 4 of this second-round matchup. Carolina leading the Caps by that 1-0 score. Adam Gold with your intermission coming up here. It's Canes playoff hockey on the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network.
Guys, Marcy Bailey here from Bailey's Fine Jewelry with some diamond advice. Buying an engagement ring doesn't have to be so complicated. We've been doing this since 1948, and we know what women want. A combination of size and quality. And a little hint here, size wins big. We guarantee you can be in and out in under an hour, and she'll love the ring or your money back. It's that easy. Come see why we're voted the best place to buy a diamond. And remember, every woman wants a Bailey box.
What if, instead of choosing between a big bank or a small bank, you could choose one bank that's the best of both? That's First Horizon, with big bank reliability and small bank resolve. You get 160 years of financial strength and stability and an enduring commitment to personal service. When the best of big meets the best of small, you get it all. To help you on the road to your horizon. First Horizon Bank. Visit firsthorizon.com/getitall.
Enjoying the game? Hempy's can help. Hempy's is North Carolina's favorite hemp and CBD shop, and as long as you order before 9 p.m., local same-day delivery is absolutely free. Hempy's products are made with clean, natural ingredients, and each product is lab-tested to ensure quality and safety. Visit hempys.co to check out the inventory. And remember, orders placed before 9 p.m. get free same-day delivery. Or you can always stop by one of their 8 locations in North Carolina. Must be 21 or older to order. That's hempys.co.
Adam Gold inside Lenovo Center in a wild first period that finally featured a goal. We have a goal for the first time
in the first period. It is a Shane Gostasbear goal, as Carolina really flipped the period in their favor about 8.5 minutes in, when the top line, Aho, Jarvis, Svechnikov, and company really put the pressure on Washington, got the crowd into it. The captain's line came out, did the same thing, and then with Jesperi Kotkaniemi's line on the ice, Shane Gostasbear kept the puck in, walked the blue line, found a lane, and threw a Jesperi Kotkaniemi screen in front, made it 1-0 Carolina. Canes have been shorthanded now for nearly 6 minutes in the period. Questionable penalty call on Seth Jarvis. Carolina killed off that 2-minute minor penalty. And then Jordan Martinook in the box. Double minor for a high stick on Jacob Chikrin. Carolina killed off the first 2 minutes. Actually had the best scoring chance right after that was Aho and Robinson on a 2-on-1 shorthanded. And then had to survive the last few seconds of the period as there were a few chances around the net of Frederik Andersen. He might have gotten a piece to keep one out, but the Hurricanes penalty killers doing what they have done all season long. There still is about a handful of seconds left, maybe a little bit less than 30 seconds left on the double minor as we start the second period. Incredible action. Canes with a 1-0 lead. You'll listen to highlights next.
Barbecue season is back. Hey, it's Ellen.
And this is Sarah Beth.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese,
I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than 1.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and a Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Oh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $100 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1-3.35 to 4.58. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey everyone, Adnan and Verk here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch this movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit. The cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring the next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh, we got highlights here on the Lenovo Intermission Report. I am Adam Gold. 1-0 Hurricanes, and first period highlights are brought to you by Kia. And let's get right to it. Washington carried the play right off the hop tonight as they had a few chances in front of Frederik Andersen. Alexei Protas had the first one.
Wow, sends this forward. That's clanked off the middle by Protas. Rebound chance, and Andersen gets across and will make the save as he gobbles that one up.
He also had a good stop on Connor McMichael. Backhand try in tight. Anthony Beauvillier came in a 2-on-1. It was a busy first few minutes for Freddie. Carolina finally turned it. The top line had a great shift, and all of a sudden it was one after another. And then the ghost of Lenovo Center struck.
Now Gostasbear with it. Gostasbear hanging on. Walker will make a change. Now Gostasbear, he scores! Top of the left circle. And Carolina gets the hot start. They're up 1-0. Shane Gostasbear.
Yeah, good goal, great screen from Jesperi Kotkaniemi in front. 1-0 Carolina. And then the parade to the penalty box. Basically 6 of the next 10 minutes, Carolina spent shorthanded, and Pierre-Luc Dubois nearly got us even.
Puck comes out in front. A chance for Washington. Deflected just wide. Oh, Andersen was at the top of his crease. And Washington misses a glorious chance. And Carolina will send this the length of the ice. And that is how the first period comes to a close. Carolina, 24 seconds left to kill a double minor, but up 1-0 after 20.
Yeah, 24 seconds left of it. By the way, when the Canes go on the road, hopefully to close this one out on Thursday, Carolina Ale House will have the playoff watch party. They always do. Join Stormy and the gang at the Cary location. Carolina Ale House, exclusive sponsor of Canes playoff watch parties. We'll have our own party with Walt Ruff next.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Who wants to save up to $1 a gallon on gas with Harris Teeter fuel points? It's easy. Shop at Harris Teeter with your Vic card. Earn 1 fuel point for every $1 spent. Redeem your points for gas savings at Harris Teeter fuel centers in our partnering Amoco and BP gas stations. You can even check your fuel points in the Harris Teeter app. Get 4 times the fuel points when you shop on Fridays. Harris Teeter, in food with love.
Yes. Adam Gold inside Lenovo Center on the Lenovo Intermission Report. Brought to you by Lenovo, official technology provider of the Carolina Hurricanes. Walt Ruff, Hurricanes.com content maestro, wizard of the keyboards. Hey, you brought us a first period goal. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
What
Shane
are you thanking me
Gostasbear.
for? Oh, okay.
We got something to talk about.
Yeah, I thought Washington started much like they started in Game 3. We didn't have to wait for the second period to have the momentum shift. Top line looked like the top line that middle of the period.
They did. Love the early work from Andersen again. Solid, steady Freddie back there. Exceptional work from Shane Gostasbear on the goal. He's just kind of moving and shaking out there at the blue line because somebody was changing behind the play.
Sean Walker.
There you go. So he's buying time, and then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, I'll just work to the left, throw something on. It's very fitting given all the talk the last couple of days. It feels like, and I know it gets another layer when the national media gets involved, but I'm sure Rod Brindamore's starting to get sick of the whole shot volume. That's probably not a high danger chance from Shane Gostasbear, but you know what? It's the only goal we got so far.
Right, but Brindamore's point, and the reason why it bothers all of us to hear this, because we see it all year long.
Yes,
right?
It's not new.
This is the way Carolina has played for 7 years, and those aren't the only shots they take. In fact, some of the other guys don't shoot enough. Right, you'd like to see Aho and sometimes Svechnikov and Jarvis shoot the puck more, but with traffic in front, that becomes a scoring chance. So Kokaniemi does a great job in front of the net.
Tremendous job. Boxing out his guy there. Again, didn't look like a whole heck of a lot, but he's playing his role. They've talked the past couple days a lot about how it's a 5-man unit on the ice. Everybody's got to be upholding their end of the bargain, and he did.
All right, Walt Ruff, why is Carolina's penalty kill struggling so much?
What?
Obviously kidding. This is, the number 1 unit in the league. It looks maybe better.
Fantastic. Great time for them to be hitting their stride. I know they gave up 1 earlier in the series, but I mean, it's just right back to how they looked in round 1.
You're going to give up 1.
Yeah, exactly. And especially with that guy wearing number 8 on the other side, it kind of feels inevitable that he's going to get his at some point. But for the here and now, they're, I believe, 24 seconds away from starting their night 3 for 3, which is great because on the other side of the coin, you'd like to think that the penalties are going to balance out eventually. I mean, there were a couple that maybe could have been called for
Washington.
Holes, yeah, right. Exactly.
Which was weird that they called Jarvis.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
Right? They called that after allowing 2 pretty clear holds. That's fine. I'm not complaining that those weren't called. But when you call the other one, that just seems a little strange. Can't complain about the Martinook, right?
No.
And you're looking, you had turned the period in your favor, and now you're staring at 4 minutes with, at the end of the period, you lose a penalty killer, and both of Carolina's penalties have been to penalty killers. And with no Jankowski out there, you're like, all right, who are the other forwards you're going to use for a 4-minute? Like, who would be, you've got Jarvis and Stahl started, Aho and Robinson next. Who would be the next 2 penalty killers?
That's the $1 million question, right? I mean, I hope that they don't find themselves in that spot anymore the rest of the night because you're right, Tim Gleason's probably back there kind of scanning the back of some guys' jerseys wondering who has it. Will Carrier? Maybe?
Maybe?
Yeah. That's probably the best I can give you right now.
Maybe?
And both great options if they needed to be, but obviously it's, again, not in a spot you want to find yourself.
Yeah, we don't see him all that often killing penalties. Jankowski's up here with us, and, one of the other penalty killers was in the box. You would think Carolina will get a power play. We'll see. Real quick, because you and I haven't spoken since Game 3. The play of Sean Walker on Saturday night. What jumped out to you?
You need him to be that kind of guy, right? Just doing his job, strong, steady, defender, like flying under the radar, except now for the last 48 hours. He's been asked a lot about it. Rod Brindamore's been asked a lot about it. But, for all the guys that we do talk about, we talk about the penalty killers a lot. The top line's got to be good. Sean Walker, he's your air quote second line, third line, right side defenseman, but he's just doing his job and he's doing it well.
Yeah, and he did got PK, a lot of PK time in the game, and he led them in ice time on the blue line. Over 20, almost 23 minutes on the blue line. More than Slavin, more than Burns. It was remarkable. The injury to Jalen Chatfield had a lot to do with that, but Brent Burns' ice time went down. We saw some times when Walker was out with Slavin on an offensive zone faceoff. Thought that was interesting. Walt Ruff, Hurricanes.com, content maestro, wizard of the keyboards. Thank you very much. Thanks for bringing the goal.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll check an NHL scoreboard after these words from your local stations on the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network.
He's setting up the play at Penn Station East Coast Subs.
Can I get a 6-inch hot grilled Italian sub?
He shoots.
Should I grab a bag of chips?
Nope. All our subs come with fresh cut fries.
He scores! Everybody wins at Penn Station East Coast Subs with hot grilled subs for pickup or delivery. Fresh cut fries. 5 convenient triangle locations. You're set up for a great meal any day when you do it the Penn Station way. Check out the menu and order online today at penn-station.com.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and I am in studio with my friend Ryan Monsine from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. I tell people this all the time. If I am putting my name on a commercial, then the company that I'm doing it for has to be great at one thing, and that is customer service. You guys are great at everything, but that's probably your specialty.
Absolutely. We pride ourselves on customer service. We have over 850 Google reviews, and we have a 4.9 rating.
Who didn't give you a 5? 800-672-4348, aluminumcompany.com.
Make your next tailgate more electric when you plug into a new Ford F-150 or Super Duty truck. Not only do they light up the scoreboard with outstanding payload and towing numbers, with available Pro Power on board, you can turn these Ford trucks into mobile generators to give your tailgate party an extra boost of energy. Visit your Carolina Ford dealer or buyfordnow.com for great offers and to learn more about F-150 and Super Duty. See owner's manual for important operating instructions.
Adam Gold inside Lenovo Center on the Lenovo Intermission Report. First period scoreboard is brought to you by Cardinal Apparel, proud partner and t-shirt provider of the Carolina Hurricanes. It's the only game in town. Shane Gostasbear, his third of the playoffs from Kokaniemi and Eric Robinson came at 10:24. Third consecutive great shift for Carolina. Finally cracks the ice. Coming up later on, Vegas will be in Edmonton. Golden Knights trying to level their series at 2. Riley Smith got him a win with 0.4 of a second left in Game 3. Really an own goal for Leon Draisaitl. Dallas leads their series with Minnesota 2-1. Toronto and Florida are 2-2, heading back to Toronto on Wednesday night. I am Adam Gold. Mike and Tripp will have the second period. Canes with a 1-0 lead. See you after 2.
Barbecue season is back.
Hey, it's Ellen.
And this is Sarah Beth.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese.
I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than 1.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and our Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
To us, every moment matters. Moments of quiet perseverance and loud celebrations. Starting moments and the moments that make us feel unstoppable. We're here to help you be present for them all. UNC Health is dedicated to getting you back to what you love. Faster, stronger, and healthier. official healthcare provider of the Carolina Hurricanes.
For almost a decade, the Hurricanes have trusted their t-shirt needs with Cardinal Apparel. Carolina Hurricanes alumni Shane Willis here to tell you Cardinal Apparel has expanded and relocated to better serve their clients across the state. Formerly known as Raleigh Screen Print, Cardinal Apparel will produce high-quality screen printing while working directly with customers. Don't waste your time online trying to order through third-party vendors. Save money and time working with Cardinal Apparel. Visit cardinalapparel.com to start your order today.
We get ready to start the second period. I know big things on Trip Tracy's mind right now as the Canes are closing in on killing off a double minor. And if they can come up in the next 24 seconds, Trip, with a penalty kill, they will have successfully killed off 6 minutes of power play time for the Washington Capitals here in the first 20 minutes and 24 seconds of this game.
Well, they have earned the fact that Washington right now is on the very precipice of true adversity. When you can score the only goal of the period, have just about 6 minutes in penalty killing time yet to go on the power play, and still be out shooting Washington. They've got them right there.
And with the face-off at center ice to start this second period, the Canes win the draw. And they will send it back into the Washington zone. Capitals will quickly bounce it in, and Andersen plays it around. And there's a few things to be paying attention to here in this one. Hopefully this game has your full attention like we do here on the Canes Radio Network. And the Canes have killed off a 4-minute power play coming the other way. It's the Hurricanes, and Martinook tried to feed it across for Jarvis, just couldn't get it there. And now Washington coming the other way. Strome stood up at the Canes blue line, forced back by Orlov. What a play by Orlov. Dmitry Orlov is having quite a postseason trip.
Sure has.
Now Strome. We got it down to McMichael. McMichael tries a spinorama pass, intercepted by Carolina. Now Jarvis, he'll drop this one. Off the catch and drop rebound. He scores! Seth Jarvis on the doorstep, pounds it home, and it's 2-0 Carolina.
Primary, maybe both assists go to the penalty kill that both Aho and Jarvis, who team up on the goal, are a part of. Mike Orlov, you mentioned what a great postseason he's having. He started the whole play. And Aho and Jarvis, going back to the top of our broadcast, you felt like to win, they were going to have to find the back of the net. And a heavy, heavy wrist shot that Thompson just fought.
The blue lines. Now he'll get to the Canes zone and dump this one into the corner where Dubois will get to it. Svechnikov finishes off Dubois. Dubois, though, able to hang on. He'll get it out in front. Alexiev with a drive. Kicked away by Andersen. Second chance is blocked away. Dubois keeps it in. And Washington, this is a good bump-up shift for the Caps here. Van Riemsdyk will keep it in. He'll go down low for Dubois, trying to find McMichael. That puck along the end boards. Just over the shoulder of Frederik Andersen. Andersen, he could sense that Eller was coming into the play and was trying to move Jackson Blake to a spot. Washington comes up with a puck, but Van Riemsdyk can't keep it in. And all the way back it goes into the Washington end. Seth Jarvis comes up with his third goal of this postseason, his first goal of this series. Washington now back into the Canes end. Mangiapane tries to go around the end boards, but Carolina will come up with it.
Nice job of holding onto the puck and then using the back of the net from Sean Walker.
And again, no points for Walker in this postseason.
Super.
He's been outstanding. Now a turnover for Washington. Carolina drops it back. Roslovic, he's given a shove by Mangiapane. He'll throw it into the corner. Stankoven wanted to get a piece. Kept in by Walker. That's deflected, but into the catching glove of Thompson. He'll hang on.
You know, Mike, throughout the course of the regular season and the playoffs, It's the exception, not the rule, that I noticed something that I take with me in the rest of the day. And I thought that Aho and Jarvis, along with Svechnikov, had a buzz to them this morning. And I even spoke to Sebastian about it after the morning skate. And those two guys that you need to be great tonight to make this 3-1. In the first almost 23 minutes of this hockey game, they've been that.
Well, for Sebastian Aho, it's his 7th assist of this postseason. Canes win the draw. Blake's shot is blocked by Roy, and that'll go out of the zone and out of play. And a lucky fan from Maggie Valley, North Carolina's got a souvenir.
Maggie Valley. That was such good luck in the second period on Saturday when you mentioned Ocracoke.
I went to the other side.
I know I know that's in the West. The great huge Caniacs out there. Maggie Valley. Well played.
17:04 left here in the second period. Washington wins the draw just outside of their blue line, and then they'll ice the puck as Gostasbear hustles back and beats Eller to it. 16:58 remaining here in the second period.
Well, you have got a team hanging right now.
You do.
And this is a Hurricanes team that has a wealth of experience. And I'm sure they recognize, and they've earned it. They've got them hanging.
Carolina wins the offensive zone draw. Kotkaniemi wanted to get the shot through, but it's deflected. Dowd gets to it. They'll rip this one around the board. It's going to be icing again on Washington with 16:46 left in the second. 2-0. Hurricanes lead. Shane Gostasbear in the first. Seth Jarvis 1:05 into the second for the Canes with the lead. I want to go to something you said. If the Canes killed off the double minor to Jordan Martinook, you make the statement, you're going to win the game. But I think after that, to get a goal so quickly, that is a big straw on the back of Washington. We'll see if it is the backbreaker.
But you just can't get complacent. At some point, you keep working like this, you're going to go on the power play. You haven't yet tonight.
Now Washington, Dowd into the Canes zone. Carolina does such a good job of taking away time and space there. It was Gostasbear. Now behind the net, Walker had a little bit of an issue with it. Duhaime was on him. But the Canes will clear it out. Now Blake has it. Blake taking a look. What a move out in front, and couldn't get it to Gostasbear, who had jumped in on the play with a left wing drive.
Blake has gotten better in this series, just like the progressions in his first regular season in the NHL.
Now Kotkaniemi. He fires it across looking for Martinook just out of his reach. Now out in front for Carrier. Off of his stick, and Thompson has to make a save. Now an opportunity for Washington. Wilson. Ovechkin sends it across. Mr. Andersen! Oh, he just robbed Dylan Strome.
Boy, he did not bite on Ovechkin shooting that puck. Would have been so easy to go hook, line, and sinker on that bite. He anticipated the pass to Strome. What a stop.
All the way. Strome thought he was going to have an empty net. And there was Frederik Andersen. Now Carolina into the Washington zone along the right-hand boards. As trying to deliver a hit there was Carrier. He does, but Cap's able to work this one into the Kane zone, but Carolina bats it right back out.
I thought in the second round last year against the Rangers, Andersen struggled with his movement side to side. In the New Jersey series and saves like that, his lateral reads and execution have been flat out dialed in.
Now Sandin with it as Washington will go cross corner into the Kane zone. Chatfield plays it off the boards, looking for a little help from Orlov. Good read by Protas. His shot goes off of Chatfield, but McMichael can't get to it. Aho can, and he'll clear it only as far as the Washington blue line. Washington making a change. Are they going to get caught with too many men on the ice?
No, I think it'll be an intentional offside. Johnny Murray, the veteran linesman, immediately points to the Washington zone, so Carolina won't have a neutral zone offside draw. They'll have an attacking zone one. And Aho has that look right now, although Rod's going to make a change here. But Aho has that look.
Yeah. Well, Aho now has 80 points in his playoff career trip in 83 games.
The reason that this is actually Roslovic's tougher face-off side. Let's see what he can do here with Stankoven and Hall.
14:39 left here in the second. Face off to the right of Thompson, and the Caps will get to it. And will this get played off the bench or a hand pass? Hand pass.
And the bench. You were right on the mark with your eyes. People in Maggie Valley will be Maggie be impressed with those eyes, and this will be a neutral zone draw this time. Hang on, they're going to get together.
Yeah.
Who cleared that puck into the Carolina bench where it caught a glove? If it's a Washington player, that's a face-off in the Washington zone, and I think they're going to adjust back to the Washington zone. They're huddled, the two referees and the linesmen. They were in the neutral zone. They got together using their teamwork and adjust this, and they would have determined that puck came off a Washington stick into the Carolina bench.
If we could, this is the hardest sport in the world to officiate, and we know the officials get a lot of flack, but 99% of the time they do an outstanding job, higher than outstanding, but it's one of those things where they communicate really well, and there's an instance on it.
Got to be teammates, just like the best team.
Right.
Not individuals win the Stanley Cup. They've got to be teammates as well.
Now Roslovic has to make a play as we resume. Stankoven tries to bat it in. He will. Hall gets to it before Van Riemsdyk can. To the left point, Orlov. To the right side, Chatfield shot. Wanted to redirect, but it misses everything. Orlov wanted to keep it in. His shot is blocked. And Washington will scurry this one. Eller. Drop back across. Leonard with a shot. Andersen gets a piece.
He got over that explosive push, Freddie, from left to right. Leonard can shoot the puck. He had nothing there.
Now Stankoven with it into the Washington zone. Looking to drop it. Chatfield right into the breadbasket of Thompson. And Chatfield is dragged down from behind by Leonard. That was no ill intent there. And that is a huge save for Logan Thompson to keep this a 2-goal game.
Almost another goal from the defense. Would have been the 8th on that 3-on-2. Logan finding Jalen.
13:44 left in this second period. Carolina leading Washington 2-0 here in game number 4. You're listening to Hurricanes Playoff Hockey on the Canes Radio Network.
Hockey is a game of speed, and the Triangle is one of the fastest growing regions in the country. At the center of the excitement are Lenovo and the Carolina Hurricanes, partnering to unveil the Lenovo Center. With one of its global headquarters in the Triangle, Lenovo is the perfect partner to launch a new era of technology and fun. Don't miss out. Come check out the Lenovo Center and cheer on the Canes.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection, one that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Hey everyone, Adney and Verk here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch this movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit, and the cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring the next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
13:44 to go here in the second period. Carolina leading Washington 2-0 alongside Trip Tracy. Mike Maniscalco here on your Canes Radio Network. Trip, a quick little scene setter. It's game number 4. Canes have a 2-1 series lead over Washington, who had the best record in the Eastern Conference. And this game could be pivotal to defining if we have a long series or a short series here in the second round.
Well, to this point, because you're approaching the halfway point of regulation, and say it if it went the distance and went 7, so this would be the halfway point of the series just about right now. The biggest difference has been Frederik Andersen has outplayed Logan Thompson, and the special teams where Carolina has won both dimensions.
Face-off is pushed around the boards by Carolina. Trying to come up with it. Let's go Kaniemi, but that'll be a little too far. Rather Stankoven. Now to be knocked back into the Hurricane zone where Gostasbear will get to it. 13:25 remaining here in the second period. Walker. He'll take a hit from Dowd. Wrapped around the boards. Carlson fighting for it. Roslovic wanted to get a stick to it. He does, but pushed away to Washington, and this one is going to bounce off the glass off the stanchion, and they're going to say no, that Shane Gostasbear could have played it. So icing's waved off, and Carolina trying to catch Washington in a change here. As it's put into the zone for Martinook. Martinook behind the net for Stahl. Stahl takes a bump there from Chychrun. Carrier comes in to help out. Now Martinook. He'll reverse it around from left to right in the zone. It'll be kept in. A hard shove out in front, and Martinook had that deflected. Now Carrier keeps it in. He'll turn and fire, and that will be kicked away by Thompson.
I love shifts like this when you make Ovechkin, Wilson, and Strome spend the majority of their shift in their own end.
Now Burns, he'll get this one to Carrier, and he'll just roll it back into the Washington zone. Ovechkin still on the ice. Chychrun dumps it in from the other side of center ice. Andersen has to play it, looking for Jarvis. And that just rolls off the tape. Chychrun wants to clear, can't do it. Aho takes a feed from Chatfield. Down low in the corner, it's Svechnikov. Svechnikov, he finds room in the middle of the ice. Chychrun blocks the shot, for the loose puck was still available, and a great play by Van Riemsdyk and company to clear.
And now Ovechkin has been on for a long time, and he's got to stay on longer off of icing. Mike, he's rattled. The greatest goal scorer in the history of the game. He's hunched over right now. He took a whack at Carrier earlier in this shift in the neutral zone. He just went out of his way to try to hit Chatfield at the Washington blue line. And now, because he could have changed earlier, he's pressing. He's on here in his own end, and he's hunched over. See if he can take advantage.
And they will, as Svechnikov will get to the puck. He tries to step away from Van Riemsdyk. Svechnikov takes it away, down in the corner, Aho in the slot, and a save's made by Thompson. Oh, Sebastian Aho. He let it go quickly, and Thompson with another big save here to keep Washington in it, and Ovechkin finally makes his way to the bench. Kane's on it quickly. Chatfield in his own zone. He'll go to Orlov. Orlov through the middle of the rink. He'll have it knocked away, worked up for McMichael. McMichael's got Protas with him. Orlov comes all the way back. That's one heck of a defensive play by Dmitry Orlov.
Not chasing your mistake. He was the cause of the turnover, went back through the middle, and made the play with his glove.
Now Carlson rolls this one in. Andersen has to play it. And play it quickly. He does, just out of the zone. It's Frederik Andersen with a good handle there. Lars Eller was in the neighborhood. Orlov will finish his shift by knocking this puck into the Washington zone, but he's on the other side of center ice, so he's got to stay back on the ice. This will be icing against Carolina with 10:46 left here in the second period.
Now it flips the other way. Washington, the Ovechkin line was exhausted off of an icing play, and now Chatfield and Orlov, I think, are fighting it a little bit. I love this communication. Kokaniemi is talking to three of his teammates before he goes into this draw against Strome. Carberry coming right back with this Strome line. He's leaning on them heavily right now with where they're at in this game in the series.
Strome, Ovechkin, Wilson. Wilson gets it to Ovechkin. His shot goes off of Chatfield. Second chance. And it goes off the net. Third chance. It's stopped by Andersen. Washington keeping it in. Strome to Ovechkin. He'll find Wilson on the right faceoff dot. Wilson circles with it. He'll hand it to Matt Roy. Roy with a little backhander that Andersen shields away, and a diving play by Wilson to keep it in the zone. Wilson now trying to center it for Strome. He does. Side of the net. Strome bounced it for Ovechkin. Long drive by Roy goes wide. Sandin with it. He plays it down low. This is the best shift for Washington in this period. Deflected out front, and then Ovechkin gets to it, and he tapped it out, but nobody is home, and a frustrated Alex Ovechkin heads to the bench.
But you can't change anybody. Exhaustion for Carolina. You're bending. Can you prevent breaking?
Well, Kokaniemi will get to it, and he will put enough on it. Will it stop? It will. No icing. Carolina can change halfway through the second period. Halfway through game number 4. Canes up 2-0 over Washington. And a chance to deflect this out by Carrier. He does, too far for Martinook. Chychrun, he'll knock it away, but Carolina offside. 9:29 remaining here in this second period. Shane Gostasbear, Seth Jarvis have Carolina up 2-0 in this important game number 4 of this second round matchup of the Caps and Canes. You're listening to Playoff Hockey on the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
.29 left here in the second period. Carolina up 2-0 here in game number 4 of the Washington Capitals. Chip Tracy, what do you have to say so far halfway through this one?
I don't know if you can quantify how significant that shift was from Chatfield, Norloff, and the Kotkaniemi line. That had to be a 2.5 minute shift, you know, getting stuck on the ice when you can't change off of icing. And Carberry, Spencer Carberry, Washington's fine head coach, goes with the Strome, Ovechkin, Wilson line, and you bent big time, but you didn't break. And then for Kotkaniemi eventually, I mean, by a hair, to avoid icing the puck and getting the mass changed, that shift is big time.
As now Carolina will bounce this into the Washington zone. Burns keeps it in, forcing the Caps to get this to their rookie, Ryan Leonard, who will flip one out to the Canes blue line where Burns was waiting for it, up for Roslovic. Stankoven has it bounce off of his stick, and Washington plays this one off the glass back to the Canes blue line, where hustling forward is Taylor Hall. He'll pull away from Lars Eller. Hall had Stankoven right at the Washington blue line, and there was nobody in front of him, but the pass just a little too far. Eller with it for Washington back the other way, but he'll lose it to Burns. Burns' pass intended for Roslovic, but this will be icing on Carolina.
What a job of angling. Mangiapane had just gained entry into the Carolina zone, and that's Carolina's pressure. You swarm him. Burns is one of the guys swarming, comes up with a puck, and then sauced it too much, leading to this icing play. I don't think you have the fatigue element you had earlier, and it's not the Strome line, it's Dubois, but another key sequence.
And a nice face-off win for Carolina. Burns will flip it out. Roslovic kicked it back to Burns, but Washington right back on it. Dubois muscles his way to the side of the net. He's being watched here by Roslovic. Back up top, it's Chychrun. And this puck will bounce free, and Stankoven.
What a play by Slavin.
As Protas found out exactly what Jacob Slavin can do if you give him any kind of space to knock the puck away from you. It's unreal.
He should be a surgeon with those hands.
Oh, I trust him.
Smart too, so yeah, I went under the knife. I would trust those hands.
Now here comes Aho back the other way. He'll spin this one. Svechnikov. Oh, he had a nice move to get it free, but it was deflected as he tried to recenter it for Jarvis. 7:50 to go here in this second period. As Chatfield will play it to Orlov behind his net. Pass up the right wing boards. Will find Aho. Aho will flip this into the Washington zone. And a little contact for Carlson in the corner, but he's able to play it up for Wilson. Wilson to Strome. Strome wants to center it for Ovechkin. Off the boards, he gets the shot away. Pushed out there by Andersen. Carlson feeds this one in the corner. Strome to Sandin. And Wilson has it knocked away. And Carolina making a little bit of a move here is Stahl. Got it as far as the Washington blue line. Wilson knocked it away. Sandin wants to play it past Orlov. Can't do it. Orlov with it. He'll take a look and airmail this one into the Washington zone. Thompson.
Time to get going back on the forecheck. Get pucks deep. Go to work. Carolina's gotten away from it a bit.
Now Martinook just tried to deliver a big hit. Walker with a shot out in front. Thompson makes a chest save, and the rebound will be settled by the Caps. Carlson. He's stepped into by Robinson. Robinson will get a loose puck and a nice play made by Walker in the neutral zone. Stahl with it behind the net. He'll go up high for Gostasbear. Gostasbear through traffic just misses as that puck deflects to the left side of Logan Thompson's net. And now it'll be Robinson. He wanted to knock it free, but it's pushed forward. Here's a chance. Pavilion Duhane, and Duhane with a drive, and another save made by Andersen.
Turnover at the offensive blue line. Back pressure allowed Andersen to just play the shot.
And Robinson wanted to clear the puck off the boards, but the Caps bench door was open, and Robinson flung it into the bench inadvertently, but it'll get a whistle with 6:16 left here in the second.
I think Carlson caused the turnover at his own blue line. All of a sudden, it's a 2-on-1. But because Blake gets back to help out Gostasbear, who was playing the 2-on-1, Freddie Andersen only had to focus on the shot. That's it. And he is able to make a nice save on the blocker side. The referees again are getting together to see if they're going to keep this draw in the neutral zone. You know what, Mike? The other thing I'm thinking about right now, the Hurricanes haven't had a power play yet tonight, but one of the things I wanted in this series, it took a couple games for the power play to get going, but Washington is going to take way fewer liberties when the Hurricanes' power play is nuclear. If the power play wasn't nuclear, I think they'd be playing a different game with their physicality. They are afraid of Carolina's power play.
Well, power play went 2 for 2 in Game 3 in that 4-0 victory for Carolina. And has them up 2-1 in the series. Now a good forecheck here as Kotkaniemi will come up to it. And he'll send it around the boards, but it'll be taken away Alexiev. Now stretch pass, Beauvillier. Beauvillier snaps a shot, and Frederik Andersen catches that and hangs on. Oh, he flashes the leather. Mr. Andersen. And the Carolina Hurricanes lead the Washington Capitals with 5:41 to go here in the second period by a score of 2-0. You're listening to Hurricanes Playoff Hockey on the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network.
Hey everyone, Adney and Burke here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Burke and Demers.
Jason Demers here after playing 7...
Establish the goal line in the attacking zone and go from there, unless you're sure that there's a play to be made just inside the blue line. Carolina just had a couple of shifts, including Stahl behind the net doing just that.
Now Strome gets us out in front. Ovechkin will get to it. He'll spin it back. A little drive from the right point. Deflected, doesn't get through, and the Canes stall. We'll bounce this off the boards. Good work here by Martinook, so he can, that's Carrier going in. He'll lay down a hit. Martinook watching from the other side. By the way, great to see Jordan Martinook on the ice. You knew he would be after blocking that shot late in Game 3. And now Carolina trying to get a little zone time here. Carrier will force Roy to play it up for Ovechkin. Ovechkin will get it in the Cane zone. Looking for Strome. Stall on Strome. Burns to the puck. And this will be chipped as Svechnikov got the stick to it, but he's on the other side of center ice. So 4:54 left here in the second period, and the Caps will get an offensive zone draw.
The good news is the Ovechkin line just finished their shift, so they're not an option here unless you called your timeout. Why would you call a timeout when a Carolina team can't change?
Yep.
And you have the defensive guys, the Stahl line, Slavin and Burns on the ice here against Dubois.
And Stahl wins it clean. Svechnikov wanted it clear, kept in. Good play there by Carlson just for the moment. As now Burns wants to clear it. It goes off of Stahl's skate. Now the captain says, hang on, I'll take it myself. Up the board, Svechnikov can't clear. Second opportunity, and Burns gets it free. Now Stahl has it. Stahl down the right wing boards. Little ginger toss into the corner. And Carolina is going to change up. As Dubois wanted to get this one in deep. Orlov sends it back out. Dubois will play it for Protas, and now this will take a bounce. McMichael after it. Connor McMichael stops, turns. He'll go to the point. Kept in by Van Riemsdyk.
Those are 3 plays. Svechnikov's had a great playoffs where he hasn't gotten pucks out. These are really important moments.
Now this puck knocked back into the Washington zone. Chychrun got it quickly. McMichael flips it high into the Cane zone. Dubois with a big hit on Chatfield. Washington will keep it in. Chychrun, his shot blocked up high. There's a great block. Then Chychrun finishes Andrei Svechnikov.
Yeah, he had those 3 errant clears and then comes up with that big-time block. And that was at the end of a long shift. That's big time.
Now Roslovic with it. Up for Hall. Hall feeds it for Walker. Now it's back for Hall. Hall with it. He'll drop it. Roslovic shot. And Thompson will catch it and hang on.
That was a good opportunity. Carolina gains the Washington zone with speed. They pull up right at the hash marks on the wall across from the benches. Walker's ready to fire, and it's tough for Thompson because Walker gets it to the net quickly on the glove side, but Stankoven's stick is right there on the way in. So as a goaltender, he's got to think about, is this coming in clean, or is Stankoven going to get a piece of it? Roslovic was there filling too. But that's the type of hockey that Carolina needs to get back to. Stahl just had a shift starting at his own end. You mentioned how he held on to the puck and then made sure to get it deep. Know where this game is at. Know what your bread and butter is.
Canes win the draw. They'll get it to Gostasbear. Drop back Walker through traffic. Save made by Thompson. To the corner. Roslovic for Stankoven. Stankoven trying to play it around Sandin. Dowd will get to it. Up for Beauvillier. Beauvillier, he's stepped into by Walker. That allows Hall to pick it up in the Cane zone. Worked around for Gostasbear. 3 minutes left here in the second period. 2-0. Carolina in the lead. Hall. A nice play to keep it. And get it in deep into the Washington zone. And Roy is run into by Roslovic. Stankoven comes in to help out, but Dowd is there. Deep as that center you need to help out your defenseman to get it free. Duhaime to Dowd. Dowd finds no way to get it in the Cane zone, so he'll turn and flip it back for Sandin. Now a pass for Beauvillier, who's got a step, and Burns uses the reach and the long stick to deflect that over the glass into the netting.
Good for Brett Burns, and a big applause from the crowd. He's a big man, so he has a longer reach, and he prevents what would have been a quality opportunity. Backtracking to the left of Andersen, reaching out on Beauvillier, right at the interior outside of the circle. Right as Beauvillier is releasing, Burns reaches in, deflects that into the netting.
2:32 left here in the second. Face-off to the left of Frederik Andersen. Canes will get Slavin to it. And this will be icing on Carolina's. Chychrun hustles back to get the whistle.
One of the things we talked about throughout the season and in this series, in the New Jersey series too, is Carolina eliminated a trend of giving up goals late in periods. There was a trend and a concerning one late in the regular season. Got just under 2.5 to play here.
Now Slavin is hooked down, and here comes, as Wilson wants to go after a couple of people. Wilson might have just tacked on another penalty here, as he's trying to throw punches at Stahl.
He threw a punch into the jaw of Jordan Stahl after the initial tripping penalty. Stahl's neck flung back. Will they call both, or will they just call the original tripping penalty?
Now Carrier is just taking shots to the face from Carlson and Strome. And you know how big of a man Will Carrier is. He's trying to get an extra power play for Carolina. I think they're saying that Carrier is going to go to the box.
Well, Strome the original, I can't imagine that they call just Will Carrier. The question is, they're not calling the extra. I mean, it was a sucker punch from Wilson on Stahl. And with the way the league protects an unprotected face, are they calling? Is this?
Here's the call.
Carolina 28, minor penalty roughing. Washington 17, minor penalty roughing. Original number 8, tripping. Number 8's on the board for minor penalty.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I mean, that's a key draw from Slavin on Ovechkin. Ovechkin, he's had some chances in this period, but Mike, he is rattled. I mean, that was a terrific opportunity. Offensive zone shift off of icing to be able to cut into Carolina's lead, and Slavin drew the penalty. And then even with the Wilson punch, Stahl turns the other cheek. You know what that is? That's digging in. That's mental toughness. Let's see if this power play, your first of the night, can cash after 2 on Saturday night.
Well, for this postseason, Carolina is 9 of 27. They're tied with Dallas for the most power play goals in the postseason. They're 3 for 8 in this series. And with a 33.3%, of course, repeating, power play conversion rate, they've got the second best power play in this postseason. They'll have to find their way back in after Washington gets a draw and clears it out. They will do it. Jarvis, he'll get to it. He'll bounce it. And then a chance by Blake, and that caught Aho up in the face. Almost was a fortunate bounce after an unfortunate incident, as it bounced right to the side of the net, but Washington able to clear. And already 40 seconds gone by here in this power play.
Need a good entry.
They get one here. Here comes a chance. Hammered, and that is a shoulder save made there by Thompson on Svechnikov. Now Blake to Gostasbear. They can set it up. Aho, right circle. Gostasbear. Aho hammers one, deflected just wide, and it had so much heat on it, it comes over the blue line.
2 good chances. Svechnikov trying to go high off of the entry. The one-timer from the umbrella from Aho.
Now Jarvis to Gostasbear. Backhand pass for Aho. Side of the net it goes. There is Svechnikov. Up high, Gostasbear right in the middle of the rink. Aho wanted to go through the seam. Wilson with a good stick. Jarvis has to track it down. He does. Blake, he'll get it back. 35 seconds left on the power play. Aho fakes the one-timer. Back to Gostasbear. Aho again. Right circle. Middle of the rink. Gostasbear around Wilson. He'll get it there to Jarvis. Now a chance. One-timer. Aho. Left pad save made by Thompson. Aho wants to keep it in. He can't. Away from Protas. Other side of the rink. Trying to hang on to it. It's Svechnikov up front, trying to get it to Aho, and it will come off the boards and out of the zone. Gostasbear with it now. 5 seconds left in the power play. 25 seconds left in the period. And a long pass. Too long for Roslovic, but not for Hall. Out of the box comes Ovechkin. Burns gets a shot through. Deflected out in front. And Thompson got just enough of it. And as Ovechkin was hanging at the blue line, Burns takes it away. Ovechkin has a hit. Carolina still playing as the clock's got 5 seconds left. Hall with it. Across. Burns tees it up. And that'll be deflected out of play. And that's how the second period comes to a close.
That power play may not have scored, but because of its looks, it created momentum. Thompson made a couple of his best saves of the series. One on Svechnikov with a shoulder off of the entry, and then right as you were returning to 5-on-5, that might have been a double tip off of the burn shot, and he was able to make the save. Athletic, it looked like, with his right toe. Even though that power play did not convert, it's been a drastically better power play than Washington's has been.
Well, we'll see if there's any momentum heading into the third. Right now, Carolina is 20 minutes away from taking a 3-1 series lead, leading Game 4 2-0 after 40. Adam Gold has your intermission report. After this, you're listening to Hurricanes Playoff Hockey on your home for the Carolina Hurricanes. 99.9 The Fan, the Canes Radio Network.
Navy Federal Credit Union celebrates Military Appreciation Month in May. Whether you're active duty, a veteran, or a military family, we are all united this month to celebrate those who go above and beyond. As a credit union created for the military community, Navy Federal takes special care to ensure that our members feel celebrated and honored every day and every May. So from all of us at Navy Federal, happy Military Appreciation Month. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Discover the thrill of precision and elegance with Omega at Bailey's Fine Jewelry. From the depths of the ocean to the heights of space, Omega's Seamaster and Speedmaster collections are crafted for those who dare to explore. With a heritage rooted in innovation and a timeless style inspired by sports, space, and cinematic legends, Omega is the gift for every adventurer. Find your perfect watch at Bailey's Fine Jewelry in Raleigh's Village District. Voted Best Jeweler. Learn more at BaileyBox.com.
Enjoying the game? Hempy's can help. Hempy's is North Carolina's favorite hemp and CBD shop, and as long as you order before 9 p.m., local same-day delivery is absolutely free. Hempy's products are made with clean, natural ingredients, and each product is lab-tested to ensure quality and safety. Visit hempys.co to check out the inventory. And remember, orders placed before 9 p.m. get free same-day delivery. Or you can always stop by one of their 8 locations in North Carolina. Must be 21 or older to order. That's hempys.co.
Adam Gold inside Lenovo Center. This is the Lenovo Intermission Report. Brought to you by Lenovo, official technology provider of the Carolina Hurricanes. Seth Jarvis's third goal of the postseason from Aho and Orlov. 1:05 into the frame, put Carolina ahead 2-0. Carolina had good play after that, but then it kind of leveled out a little bit. At the end of the period, Carolina had a good power play that did not score. Also had a couple of chances right after the power play expired. But I thought Washington started to get back into it, and Frederik Andersen, much like he did very early in this game and in the first period of game number 3, made some dynamite saves. Alexander Ovechkin, rather than shoot the puck, passed across the ice to Dylan Strome, and Freddie Andersen got across, made a diving save, robbing Strome of a goal that would have made it 2-1 and got Washington right back in this. Carolina's only up 2-0, 25-15 edge in shots, but a good period for Frederik Andersen and a good response physically from Carolina after the scrum that led to the Ovechkin, that was caused by the Ovechkin tripping penalty. And Washington was trying to get Carolina to bite and maybe even them out, but they didn't. They sent off Carrier and Dylan Strome for matching roughings. We got a lot of stuff to do. We will do highlights next.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection, one that helps better their everyday through the things they value most: friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
To us, every moment matters. Moments of quiet perseverance and loud celebrations. Starting moments and the moments that make us feel unstoppable. We're here to help you be present for them all. UNC Health is dedicated to getting you back to what you love. Faster, stronger, and healthier. Official healthcare provider of the Carolina Hurricanes.
Who wants to save up to $1 a gallon on gas with Harris Teeter fuel points? It's easy. Shop at Harris Teeter with your Vic card. Earn 1 fuel point for every $1 spent. Redeem your points for gas savings at Harris Teeter Fuel Centers and our partnering Amoco and BP gas stations. You can even check your fuel points in the Harris Teeter app. Get 4 times the fuel points when you shop on Fridays. Harris Teeter, in food with love.
Oh, highlights time. Here on the Lenovo Intermission Report, 2-0 Carolina. Spectrum, a connection built for everywhere. That is life unlimited. That's Spectrum. They bring us the highlights. Just over a minute in, Sebastian Aho lets fly from just above the circle. Logan Thompson couldn't corral it. Seth Jarvis in the right spot.
Now Jarvis, he'll drop this one. Off the catch and rebound. He scores! Seth Jarvis on the doorstep, pounds it home, and it's 2-0 Carolina.
Maybe one that Thompson wants back. He would redeem himself the rest of the period. Played very, very well. Now Ovechkin with the puck. Was he a shooter or a passer? Frederik Andersen guesses right.
Now an opportunity for Washington. Wilson. Ovechkin sends it across. Mr. Andersen! Oh, he just robbed Dylan Strome.
Boy, he did not bite on Ovechkin shooting that puck. Would have been so easy to go hook, line, and sinker on that bite. He anticipated the pass to Strome. What a stop.
Yeah, Ovechkin a little bit off his game. Freddie makes a save on Ovi here.
Wilson gets it to Ovechkin. His shot goes off of Chatfield's second chance. It goes off the net. Third chance. It's stopped by Andersen.
Yes, then late in the period, Anthony Beauvillier splits the defense coming in. He has an opportunity, were it not for Brent Burns.
Now a pass for Beauvillier, who's got a step, and Burns uses the reach and the long stick to deflect that over the glass into the netting.
Good for Brent Burns, and a big applause from the crowd. He's a big man, so he has a longer reach, and he prevents what would have been a quality opportunity.
When the Canes win at home during the playoffs, download the Chick-fil-A app to claim your offer for a free chicken sandwich. By midnight, available at participating Greater Triangle area Chick-fil-A restaurants. Dan Rosen, NHL.com, joins us next.
Barbecue season is back. Hey, it's Ellen.
And this is Sarah Beth.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese,
I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than 1.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and our Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Oh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $100 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 3.35 to 4.58. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
2-0 Carolina on the Lenovo Intermission Report. I am Adam Gold, joined by Dan Rosen from NHL.com. Follow him on Twitter at DRosenNHL. Also check out the podcast, NHL at the Rink. All right, sir.
Yeah.
Welcome to town. I'm not the welcome wagon, but tell me what your thoughts are through, 3 games and 2 periods of this series.
Well, I mean, I think we've seen mostly Hurricanes hockey, what you would expect from them, right? Pressure all over the ice, attacking in waves. Tonight, what was interesting to me is, again, the Capitals get off to a good start. They can't finish. And when you can't finish and you give the Hurricanes an inch off of that, they're going to take the mile, right? So you can't finish. And then midway through the period, probably about 8 minutes into the period, you had Jacob Chychrun and Matt Roy can't get the puck out of the zone.
Right.
4 or 5 attempts that were clearing attempts. They couldn't get it out. They iced the puck. And right then and there, I'm thinking to myself, all right, that's the door. It swung right open for the Hurricanes, and there they go. And Gostasbear gets on the board, and this team plays a heck of a lot different when they have the lead. And the Capitals just look jittery. They just look jittery. I thought they came back a little bit better in the second period. And they played better. Freddie stood on his head at times, made a couple of big saves. But you know what? When they get a 2-0 lead, it's like they're as comfortable as you can be, and you can see it. And you see Washington
totally out of its game and uncomfortable.
Yeah, Alexander Ovechkin looks a little. Tom Wilson's playing, I think, like Tom Wilson is going to play, and that's fine. I got no problem with it. Ovi looks more frustrated than anything.
Yeah, he's not getting any looks. I mean, he's not, and that, I mean, he's obviously the greatest goal scorer of all time, so he needs his looks. He really does. He actually passed off of one to Dylan Strome, which was a good scoring attempt for Dylan Strome, and it's the play you'd think, 95% of the guys in this league, you want them to make that play because it's a good pass and it's a good scoring attempt, a good shot for Dylan Strome. If I'm Alex Ovechkin, I want to take that shot. I want to test the goalie. I want to see if there's a rebound, or I want to blow one right by him, right? So he got some looks in Game 3 on one shift, and that was about it. Tonight he's not getting much. The power play could not even get in the zone. He's not getting anything on the power play. I agree with you. He looks frustrated. And the other thing that I noticed is the Capitals, to me, look a little gassed when they go back to the bench.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a sign. And Spencer Carberry brought this up. I think he brought it up after Game 1, where he's just like, I'm not used to seeing that. And that's what the Hurricanes can do to you.
Yeah, the speed. And Carolina is playing a lot more physical now than they did during the regular season. Not a physical team. But here in the playoffs, they have tried to do the best they could to match that physicality. The Jordan Stahl line with Martinook and Carrier, that they've had the assignment on Ovechkin tonight. Actually, I think almost plays into their hands to have Wilson there, because it takes Wilson away from Aho.
Well, yeah, it does. And you saw, I don't know if it's frustration from Tom Wilson. I think it's just Tom Wilson's game.
Yeah.
Where, he throws a little punch in at Jordan Stahl. There's no issue with that. That's Tom Wilson, little John. I expect to see more of that, not
especially in the third.
Yeah, especially in the third. I expect to see more of that. That's the game. He gets them going more than anybody else. Like that, we look at the Capitals and we say, oh, Alex Ovechkin, the goal scorer. He had 44 goals this year. He's the all-time leader, this, that, and the other. And all true. And for years, it was Alex Ovechkin who got the Capitals going. It's Tom Wilson's team. Tom Wilson gets them going. And when he can get fired up, that gets them fired up a little bit too. And you finally, I hadn't seen it. He had a great Game 2. Give him
Dynamite,
credit. Dynamite
player.
Game 2.
Yep.
But here in Game 3, and certainly, through the first, a period plus, he didn't get them fired up. And maybe that does a little bit. I thought they were better in the second period.
Yeah.
They killed the penalty, and we'll see what they can come out with. But they're going to need to finish. They just can't finish right now.
Dan Rosen, NHL.com. Before we let you go, in game number 3, we were 2-0 heading to the third, and Carolina got the goal. I thought Washington was good the first couple of minutes, and Carolina got the goal, and I thought Washington was done at that point. Washington must come out and apply pressure, get something going, maybe get a power play.
Somebody's got to make a play.
Yeah.
Like, somebody has to make a play. And Spencer Carberry talked about this. He said, listen, at some point here, we need one of our guys to make a play. Like, just go make an individual play that makes the difference. Svechnikov did that, right? In game 3. Robinson did that in game 3, right? You need guys to come out, make a play, and that's what I'm going to be looking for here from Washington. And if they can't do it within the first 5-6 minutes of the period, Carolina's going to be able to settle in and protect this lead.
Dan Rosen, go check out the podcast, NHL at the Rink. D Rosen NHL on Twitter. We'll either see you here on Saturday or in the conference final.
Or in the conference final. Yeah,
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time. We'll come back with a check of the NHL scoreboard. We'll make one up after these words from your local stations on the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network.
With over 200 stores to shop, where can you find everything you're looking for all in one place? Crabtree, the go-to premier shopping and dining destination in the Southeast. Shop Allen Edmonds, Altered State, Banana Republic, Brahmin, Brooks Brothers, Chubby's, Coach, H&M, Lego, Lululemon, Michael Kors, Tag Heuer, Tommy Bahama, and so many more. Shop your favorites, discover something new, then relax and dine. All at one convenient destination. Crabtree.
Make your next tailgate more electric when you plug into a new Ford F-150 or Super Duty truck. Not only do they light up the scoreboard with outstanding payload and towing numbers, with available Pro Power on board, you can turn these Ford trucks into mobile generators to give your tailgate party an extra boost of energy. Visit your Carolina Ford dealer or buyfordnow.com for great offers and to learn more about F-150 and Super Duty. See owner's manual for important operating instructions.
Adam Gold here inside Lenovo Center. And they bring us the second period scoreboard. Of course, Lenovo is the technology provider of the Carolina Hurricanes. This is the only game in town. Goal scored, of course, by Shane Gostasbear and Seth Jarvis. Vegas is in Edmonton for Game 2. That game is supposed to start in about 30 minutes. I bet it won't. Riley Smith scored with 0.4 of a second left to get the Golden Knights into the series. It is a 2-1 Edmonton lead. Dallas has a 2-1 series lead on Winnipeg. Mikko Rantanen has at least 3 points in 5 of Dallas's 10 playoff games. Toronto and Florida, that series is 2 games apiece. How about Austin Matthews and Matthew Tkachuk, each through 4 games, no goals. By the way, when the Canes do go up to Washington for Game 5, check out the Canes watch party at Carolina Ale House, the exclusive sponsor of Canes playoff watch parties. They're all at the Cary location. Canes with a 2-0 lead. Man, the first several minutes of this third period will be critical to see if Carolina can skate this one out and take a 3-1 series lead back to Washington. I'll kick it back to Mike and Tripp for the start of the third next.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
For almost a decade, the Hurricanes have trusted their t-shirt needs with Cardinal Apparel. Carolina Hurricanes alumni Shane Willis here to tell you Cardinal Apparel has expanded and relocated to better serve their clients across the state. Formerly known as Raleigh Screen Print, Cardinal Apparel will produce high-quality screen printing while working directly with customers. Don't waste your time online trying to order through third-party vendors. Save money and time working with Cardinal Apparel. Visit cardinalapparel.com to start your order today.
Your Canes, presented by John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs, 99.9 The Fan.
We get ready to start the third period here on the Hurricanes Radio Network. Alongside Tripp Tracy, it's Mike Maniscalco, our technical tandem. Rusty Helzer in our studio in Raleigh. And the one and only John Brockwell, who knows what is in Maggie Valley. Our engineer here in the studio.
You know what? Try to set the tone for a third period. If you can replicate Saturday night, you're going to be just fine.
Yep.
Ghost of the Sky Amusement Park, something like that in Maggie Valley. I think it was really popular in the 60s. And who got the first goal of the game tonight? Speaking of the huge Caniacs in Maggie Valley, the Ghost himself, Shane Gostasbear.
Well, Carolina can put a stranglehold on this series, Tripp, if they can put together 20 minutes like we've seen previously. Is there one area that they can improve on, or one area that you think just keep doing it and they'll have the 3-1 series?
I think the sell between periods is the Hurricanes came off their game a little bit once it went to 2-0. So that could be a good thing. And it's really to value their forecheck.
As we begin the third period, this puck bounced into the Washington zone. Knocked right back out. Slavin and Strome in a fight for it. And Slavin will throw it back into the Washington end where Roy will get to it. Matt Roy, he has had a good postseason for Washington.
He made a play on a 2-on-1 in the second period. He's made a bunch. He has been really good, the former Los Angeles King.
And with no Martin Faravari in this series, he has been called on to do a lot. Now Andrei Svechnikov calls on a rocket that goes over the top of Thompson's net. Washington to the rebound. Backhanded in the Kane zone. Wilson and Orlov, they'll meet for it. It'll roll behind the net. Andersen takes a peek. Aho comes to help out. Off the boards, Jarvis leaves it for Aho. Across for Svechnikov. Svechnikov will get it over the Washington blue line, high off the glass. It'll bounce around the boards, and it'll find Strome.
Svechnikov has that look when he shoots the puck he didn't have in the regular season, that he believes he can score. He just missed high with the best chance for either team so far in this period.
Now Washington trying to take advantage, batted out in front as Dubois turns, but Andersen is seeing everything right now, catches and hangs on.
Carolina had two good sticks right about the goal line to the right of Andersen, and they're so important because if it gets through, there was a breakdown in coverage, and you had a cap player in point-blank range. Really good sticks, so the puck just flops up into the air, and Andersen catches it and holds on.
Face off to the right of Andersen, won by Washington. Chychrun, he cycles with it, tries to get a shot, and he chops it. And it'll be taken away by Jarvis. Now Jarvis into the Washington zone. Can't get his shot through, as that was defended nicely there by Van Riemsdyk. Canes, though, will keep the puck in. Roslovic, opposite corner. And that'll be picked up by Washington. Jarvis will go for a change. Now a chance for Dubois. Put the cross. Now a little give and go. Back across for Dubois. Can't get it, but he'll play it off the inboards, looking for a shot. He'll roll it up top. Van Riemsdyk's shot goes off the leg and doesn't get through. Protas with it. Protas with a low drive, still hanging on. Protas, all 6'6" of him, has it taken away by Walker, and he'll chip it away back into the Washington zone.
That block got lodged into the midsection of Walker. I don't know if we can paint a good enough picture on radio of what a big block that was. That gets through. There are caps on either side of Andersen. Really consequential block.
And the rebound control would have had to have been outstanding. Thompson thought it was going to be icing. It's not. Carolina to the puck. Little shot slapped on, kick, and a toe save made by Thompson. Now another opportunity. Hall gets it through, and that's going to be absorbed by Thompson, and he'll hang on.
This line of Kotkaniemi, Hall, and Stankoven has made their mark, haven't they? They're not on this. Well, Kotkaniemi got an assist on the all-important first goal from Shane Gostasbear, but they won a board battle, Stankoven and Hall. Then they got puck retrieval. Then they got it to the middle for another shot, and had Thompson not been able to seal it, there was convergence had there been a second opportunity.
17-18 left here in the third. 2-0 Hurricanes lead. Kotkaniemi gets help from Blake as he dives in the face-off circle. Then he bounces one off the side of the net for Thompson. Gostasbear wants to keep it in the left point, taken away. Duhaime with it. Brandon Duhaime, top of the right circle, and he'll misfire on a pass. Kotkaniemi with it. Duhaime just bothered him enough where he couldn't get it to Blake, who was alone in front of the Washington bench right at their blue line. Cross corner flip into the Hurricane zone. Gostasbear has it taken away by Roy. He's all the way up. Nice play by Duhaime on his belly to knock it away, but the second chance gives Carolina the clearing option. Dowd with it at his blue line. He drops it for Chychrun.
Close to too many men there for Washington. They just avoided it.
Now Walker with it. He has it knocked away at the Washington blue line. Then a chance there is wrapped in just outside of the blue line by Carrier that Thompson has to hang on to.
Robinson, what a good defensive shift. The puck bounced on Gostasbear at the offensive blue line. 2-on-1. There became a 2-on-2 because he got back first. And then later in the shift, got a puck out. Scored a beautiful highlight reel third period back bar beauty goal on Saturday. But that type of shift is pretty darn close to just as important.
And now we get a whistle, and that's going to bring a draw in the Cane zone with 16:09 remaining here in this third period. Hurricanes with a 2-0 lead over the Capitals. Caps went 51-22-9 in the regular season. And Carolina will come out with this. It'll be knocked down by Wilson. Zipped across Carlson. And played off the inboards out in front. And a good read by Andersen. And then Carrier calmly with the rebound. Just clears it over the blue line. Washington on it again, though. Pass too far at Wilson just inside the Canes blue line. Carlson has it knocked away by Stahl up for Martinook. Martinook plays it away from Ovechkin. He'll go for a change. But in on the forecheck is Stahl and Carrier. And now this puck almost intercepted by Orlov, and Wilson fires one across the ice right into the Canes bench. and that'll stop play. 15:37 remaining here in the third period.
That almost clipped assistant coach Jeff Daniels on the bench, and Wilson actually picked a puck off, causing a turnover, then tries to go immediately across the ice. Went over the head of Jeff Daniels, by the way, gives me a chance to congratulate him. Time flies. Between games 2 and 3, was able to get down to Georgia. His daughter, Jordan Daniels, graduated from the University of Georgia. Congratulations to her.
Standing stuff now as Protas intercepts a pass. Wanted to find McMichael. He'll hang on to it. And now Chatfield will bump with him. Long drive kept in at the point. Andersen makes the save. Rebound is cleared away, and Aho into the Washington zone. Drop for Svechnikov. Across. Jarvis' shot. It's into the catching glove, but not held on to by Thompson. Rebound, though, will be scooped up. Dubois wants to play it around Orlov. He does, but he's given a shove by Dmitry Orlov to the ice. And the Canes now have Svechnikov played around Van Riemsdyk. 5 minutes gone by here in the third period. Washington will bounce this into the Canes zone. Dubois, he'll take it away from Gostasbear, then lose it to Roslovic. Not out, kept in by Roy. Now Dubois, back to Roy. Side of the net, he works his way in, and they'll score! Filling on the backside is Jacob Chikrin, and Washington has finally dented Frederik Andersen.
Started to live dangerously if you're Carolina. I thought in the second period, not getting pucks out. And the Hurricanes had a chance to get the puck out the blue line along the bench side. They weren't able to do so. Stankoven trying to get it out. Roslovic lost his stick in the process. And wow, what a terrific play, defenseman by defenseman. That tells you where this game is at, down 2-0. Roy was on the goal line and found Chikrin. No chance for Freddie Andersen trying to move from right to left. That's representative of the all-in mentality offensively when you have two defensemen hovering at the goal line, teaming up on that play. But you had the chance, Roslovic, to get it out.
Now bouncing puck rolls in on Thompson. And Blake forces Thompson to cover with 14:36 left here in the third. 2-1 hockey game.
I wonder if the Caps will come off of that aggressive nature a little bit now that it's 2-1 with just under 15 to play.
And then 105 minutes and a touch more since Frederik Andersen has given up a goal.
It's going to be big time for that Washington bench that they finally, no chance for Freddie, none.
No.
Gostasbear was playing a 2-on-1 in front, and with Chikrin, a defenseman pinching, and he was tapping, calling for that puck because there was no winger, nobody was close to him. But it all stems Washington's ability to keep that puck in. Should have been a clear.
Now Roy fires this one to the Kane zone, but Burns will get to it. He'll drop it for Gostasbear. Center ice, it'll find Kotkaniemi. Kotkaniemi across, pass a little too hard for Blake, and Washington will come up with a puck. Oh, Blake was all alone in front of Thompson. Now Burns tries to clear it past Beauvillier. Kotkaniemi has to come back to help out. Mangiapane, though, will keep it in. Beauvillier trying to center this one out for Eller. Gostasbear with a good stick, and the Canes will roll this. It will be icing. So the Kotkaniemi line has to stay out here with 13:53 remaining here in the third period.
I still think with the way Kotkaniemi can shoot the puck, 2-on-1, trying to go with a high velocity pass to Blake, who's on his natural side, righty on the right side. Tougher to receive than if he was a lefty. Get the goaltender, sell the pass, and go upstairs over the shoulder with the way he can shoot on the short side.
Face off here, Gostasbear jumps the play and is able to knock it out of the zone, but Washington right back in. Ovechkin, Wilson, save made by Andersen, and the rebound is cleared out by Martinook. Wilson was trying to go to the blocker side.
Between the arm and the body. I know Henrik Lundqvist, the great Henrik Lundqvist, doing this game for TNT in the studio, always talks about the arms into the body. Don't get beat through you. And that's what he did there. If Wilson beat him outside the blocker, fine. Not between the arm and the body.
Now Martinook They'll get this into the Washington zone, try to put it out in front. Chychrun, they'll roll it to the corner. Martinook will get there. Walker keeps it in, but Van Riemsdyk jumps in front of that shot. Washington trying to clear, bouncing puck. And it'll bounce right over the blue line, and Carolina will get right back on it as Jarvis will take it. And split Protas and Chychrun, trying to find Svechnikov. Rolls too far, McMichael with it. Across for Dubois. Dubois had the secondary assist on the Chychrun goal. That's his first point in this series. But Carolina will fish this puck out. Aho, back for Jarvis. Svechnikov, and he hits the post again! Andrei Svechnikov. That's got to be his fifth post or fifth piece of metal in this series. Now Protas makes a move into the Canes zone. Chatfield blocks that pass. Loose puck, center ice. Aho, he'll get it across for Orlov. Canes are changing though. Orlov cognizant of that. What a smart play. Nothing there. Orlov took time and got it deep.
The Aho line has been outstanding tonight. But what a play by Chatfield. Svechnikov, everything but score. More iron for 37. Back come the Caps. Would have been a great A if Chatfield doesn't get in the passing lane.
We'll talk to the Canes doctors about limiting the iron in his diet now. As Stankoven tries to come up with a steal on the Washington end. That'll be tipped away. Eller. He'll work this into the Cane zone. Taking a look is Walker. Able to play it up the boards. Now Hall all alone. In on Thompson. Hall scores! What a play! What a transition pass! And Taylor Hall puts Carolina back up by 2. It's 3-1.
Mike, Roslovic on the Washington goal did not get a puck out. He was dealing with a hard rim clear up the wall. And I'll tell you what, he settled it, thought about just getting it out. Instead, he took a look and saw that Taylor Hall was all alone at the far blue line. That was not his initial thought, but he held on to the puck after he settled it to Roslovic for a split second. Hall's in alone, halfway up on the glove side. What a goal. Patience was a virtue for Roslovic, and I love that Hall shot in stride.
And this place has just reached bananas levels. As now Washington wants a bump-up shift. Kotkaniemi, he bothers Dowd. Dowd gets it to Duhaime off the boards. I think we've got a defensive pairing change too. Gostasbear playing with Brent Burns, and I think Walker's been playing with Jacob Slavin. Now it's Jackson Blake playing with a puck in the right circle, and Thompson will catch and hang on. And no extracurriculars here.
I can't get over the fact that Roslovic was able to settle that puck on the wall after not getting it out, and the fact that he had composure to not just get it out and live for another day, but instead to recognize Taylor Hall was posted up at the far blue line. Again, love shooting Hall, love seeing Hall with a goaltender playing deep, shooting in stride.
Hall's first goal of this series, second of the playoffs, has Carolina ahead of Washington. It's 3-1 here in game number 4. Canes listing a 3-1 lead. Can they finish it off? We'll find out here with 10:56 left in the third period on the Hurricanes Radio Network.
Barbecue season is back. Hey, it's Ellen. And this is Sarah Beth. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese, I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than 1.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and a Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Canes fans, something big is happening this season. Our favorite hometown technology giant, Lenovo, is celebrating 20 years in the Triangle, and we're all getting in on the fun. Grab your jersey and meet us at the Lenovo Center, the new name of the home arena of the Carolina Hurricanes. The Lenovo Center is just a slap shot away from Lenovo's headquarters in the Triangle. Come celebrate and cheer on the Canes this season at the Lenovo Center.
To us, every moment matters. Moments of quiet perseverance and loud celebrations. starting moments, and the moments that make us feel unstoppable. We're here to help you be present for them all. UNC Health is dedicated to getting you back to what you love. Faster, stronger, and healthier. Official healthcare provider of the Carolina Hurricanes.
When the Canes win at home during the playoffs, download the Chick-fil-A app to claim your offer for a free chicken sandwich by midnight. Available at participating Greater Triangle area restaurants. Canes with a 3-1 lead. No chicken in their game here tonight, as they have answered after Washington scored here in the third. About 3 minutes later, Taylor Hall on a beautiful feed from Jack Roslovic. Now we're going to get a puck touch with a high stick, and that'll bring things down. He's Trip Tracy. Mike Maniscalco here on your Hurricanes radio network, in a 3-1 lead for Carolina with 10:42 left here in the third.
Well, I mentioned, first for Rod to put, and he always has that trust, to put Roslovic right back on the ice, because I thought he should have cleared the puck on the checker and goal. That was a hard wraparound, a hard play from below the goal line, right behind the net. I thought it was Walker, but for Roslovic to settle it, and then not just chip it out. You're up a goal, but to see Taylor Hall and make the better play, and as deep as Thompson plays, loves shooting on breakaways, not trying to deke like, say, Jarvis did in Game 3.
Now Wilson, as play resumes, try to get it to Ovechkin, but knocked away. Martineau takes a hit, able to get it into the Washington zone, but it's deflected back out. Slavin rolls it right back in. And Slavin takes a pass away, intended for Strome. Now here comes Slavin with a step, little backhander. That goes into Thompson, and then Thompson's run into, as his head was outside of the blue paint. And the Capital netminder is no worse for wear. He'll get right up with 10-11 remaining here in this third period.
Well, the Caps are down 3-1, so they're not going to do anything unnecessary to be in the box. Their goaltender absorbs a collision. Excellent job from Slavin getting it to the net, and it was Carrier going to the front of the net with Carlson. It's actually Carlson that contacted his goaltender, but this is where, when I say Washington, they have a fear factor in Carolina's power play that you needed to be able to not have it be physicality that approaches stupidity.
Now bouncing puck, played around Van Riemsdyk. We get it to Protas. Back into the Kane zone. Dubois, he hustles after it out in front. McMichael, his backhand goes wide. Second chance by Dubois. Loose puck out in front. Chatfield will get to it and clear. He'll get this one for Jarvis. Jarvis given a heavy hit by Dubois just inside the Washington blue line. Past the halfway point of the third period. Aho with it. 9 minutes and 30 seconds left here in Game 4.
Aho and Jarvis not even close. Of the 4 games that have been played, this their best of the series.
And Gostasbear knocks down Protas. That created a turnover, but Washington able to get to it in their own zone. Now Roslovic try to play this one back as Burns got to it. And we have seen a change here. Tim Gleason putting Burns and Gostasbear together. And as Gostasbear, he'll turn. He'll get it for Hall. He'll bounce it to Stankoven into the Washington zone. Logan Stankoven around the boards. Hall chips it back into the corner. Now Stankoven with it to the right of Logan Thompson along the goal line. And now, is this going to be a penalty against Hall? Because Dowd had a very good dive off the high bar.
Offensive zone penalty from Carolina's third period goal scorer, Taylor Hall. The announcement coming.
Carolina 71 minor penalty for tripping.
And there's the call.
We'll revisit it when we come back from the commercial break. Taylor Hall was trying to play, you know what he did? He misplayed a puck, and he was trying to, in like helicopter fashion, spin around and continue to play the puck, and his stick got caught in a can opener position between Dowd's legs.
8:46 left in the third. Carolina will have their fourth opportunity to kill off a Washington power play when we return. Canes up 3-1. A little bit more than halfway through the third period. You're listening to Playoff Hockey on 99.9 The Fan, the Canes Radio Network.
What? New scratch-offs are out. That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Oh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $100 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 3.35 to 4.58. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Who wants to save up to $1 a gallon on gas with Harris Teeter fuel points? It's easy. Shop at Harris Teeter with your Vic card. Earn 1 fuel point for every dollar spent. Redeem your points for gas savings at Harris Teeter fuel centers in our partnering Amoco and BP gas stations. You can even check your fuel points in the Harris Teeter app. Get 4 times the fuel points when you shop on Fridays. Harris Teeter, in food with love.
Hey everyone, Adney and Verk here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch this movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit, and the cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring the next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
8:46 left in the third. Washington on the power play, 4th time here tonight. Canes penalty killers have done the job, but this is a big moment here. Late in the third is a chance trying to get it to Ovechkin at the side of the net. Blocked. Strome with a chance. Andersen sees it. He'll kick it away. Rebound out for Chychrun. Now Strome. He'll hand it for Chychrun. Back for Strome. Strome exchanges with Chychrun, then he'll get it to Chychrun. The defenseman takes the stick out of the hands of Martinook. It broke it, and that was a fortunate bounce for Carolina because they can send it all the way down into the Washington zone.
You won't see better penalty killing from Jordan Martinook. With the rotation, he had to go down with the shaft of his stick to deny a pass right in front of Andersen, and then comes up with a key block with no stick.
And now another penalty coming up to Carolina. It's going to be Orlov as he hit Wilson as Washington dumped the puck in the zone. Garrett Rank with the call.
Carolina penalty number 7. 2 minutes, interference.
No argument from Orlov. As you mentioned, Mike, the puck was just being dumped in. You know, and I don't know that Orlov, there's contact. But he could have easily been trying to just turn and skate. There is no question there has been a decided edge in power play opportunities for Washington. To get a 5-on-3 of this magnitude at this point, this is massive.
Have it for a minute 15. Chychrun across for Ovechkin. He hammers it wide. Strome keeps it in along the right wing boards. Up top, Chychrun in between the circles. He'll hand it off. Side of the net for Strome. Strome will exchange. Ovechkin loads it up and scores on the power play. And they'll have a minute 43 of another power play to try to tie this one as Alexander Ovechkin makes this a 1-goal game. It's 3-2. Ovechkin's 5th of this postseason.
Went off either the post or the crossbar and in his office. And now significant power play time left. Strome and Chychrun changed lanes. Slavin tried to get out to front the one-timer. No chance for Andersen. And then easily with all the posts that Carolina's hit, could have gone off the post and stayed out. It didn't. This is adversity for Carolina, Mike, because you don't do yourself any favors if you look at the discrepancy in power play chances. It's very significant in a game that means this much. You just got to go about killing this thing off. You've been great killing penalties at 5-on-4.
So Ovechkin's 5th of the playoffs, his first point of this series. And now the Canes penalty killers have 90 seconds to kill off in the Orlov penalty. They start by winning the draw, and then Washington right back in, and Carolina's able to chip it out. Chychrun, watched by Stahl. Chychrun circling with it. He'll drop it back. Strome crosses the blue line. Back for Chychrun. Ovechkin wants a Chychrun with a low drive. Kicked out by the left pad of Andersen. Along the boards, Strome gets it back up top. Chychrun fakes the slapper. He'll get it. Strome through traffic, but it's bounced and can't get through. Slavin, he'll get it up for Stahl. 2-on-1. Stahl, Martinook. A shot, and Thompson gets a piece.
I think he got a piece, and then it caught the blocker side post as well. Good early pass from Stahl to Martinook when it's available.
35 seconds left in the kill for Carolina. 3-2 game here in the third period. Washington looking for an entry. Hard rim around the Kane zone. Along the boards it goes. Comes out top. Carlson across. Ovechkin shot doesn't get through, and Carolina wants to run. Aho with it. He's got Jarvis and Walker. Jarvis takes a little give and go from Aho. Puts the shot on Thompson, who makes the save. 5 seconds left in the kill. Dubois sends it down the left wing boards. Protas, he tries to center it. Knocked away by Slavin, and out of the box comes Orlov. There's a huge kill, and now Carolina can clear, and we're under 6 minutes here in the third period.
Let's see if you can now, approaching the finish line, a ton of work to do. Here comes Carolina, they're going to draw a penalty.
As Dubois with the flying crossbody on Jack Roslovic. Anderson's made his way to the bench. Hall with it now. Hall trying to work around Roy. It'll be touched up. And the Canes, with 5:34 left here in the third, are going to get their second power play of the night.
Washington penalty, number 80, 2 minutes, holding.
Final commercial break of regulation. That was a no doubt about it. Roslovic, who set up Carolina's goal in the period, draws it. Dubois guilty. Some really good power play looks on your only power play earlier in the game. Let's see if we can get over the hump.
5:34 left in the third. Canes on the power play when we come back. Leading 3-2 here on the Hurricanes Radio Network.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
For almost a decade, the Hurricanes have trusted their t-shirt needs with Cardinal Apparel. Carolina Hurricanes alumni Shane Willis here to tell you Cardinal Apparel has expanded and relocated to better serve their clients across the state. Formerly known as Raleigh Screen Print, Cardinal Apparel will produce high-quality screen printing while working directly with customers. Don't waste your time online trying to order through third-party vendors. Save money and time working with Cardinal Apparel. Visit cardinalapparel.com to start your order today.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
If the Hurricanes put the biscuit in the basket on the power play here, get a free Bowberry biscuit at participating Bojangles tomorrow morning. Bojangles, it's bow time, and it's go time for the Canes power play. Second opportunity here tonight. Washington, though, wins the draw, and they will send this the length of the ice. Andersen will leave it back there as Gostasbear will pick it up. Gostasbear. Watched by Dowd, drop for Aho. Exchanges with Jarvis, back for Aho, now Svechnikov. He'll get it to Gostasbear. Off the inboards, it'll rocket its way back out for Blake. Blake to Aho. Aho chips it around the inboards, but Roy is there. And he'll serve this one all the way back on Frederik Andersen. Already 35 seconds have gone by in the power play.
Probably one more entry for this A group, and if you go to the second group, you have two defensemen.
Svechnikov with it down the left wing boards. Peeled back Gostasbear inside the blue line. He works this one. Back for Gostasbear. He'll get it to Aho. Gostasbear. Blake and Svechnikov are in front. Svechnikov pops out. He's in the right circle to Aho. Now Gostasbear. Jarvis left circle right back to Gostasbear. 50 seconds left on the power play. Jarvis, he'll find Blake. Back to Jarvis. Gostasbear. Svechnikov in the bumper. Wanted to get it to Aho. Broken up, but the Canes will keep it in. Now Jarvis, his shot. That'll go over the top of Thompson's net, and that'll deflect out of play into the netting with 36 seconds left in the penalty to Pierre-Luc Dubois. 4:10 left in the third.
Just a little too stationary. Moving the puck to the outside, and with Jarvis, as you worked it around the clock, got it on the flank. If he's on his toes, he could have taken it right to the net. He hesitated because he would have had numbers and a shooting opportunity, and Roy took advantage of that hesitation to get a stick on it and go to the other group.
4:10 remaining here in the third. Kotkaniemi gets help winning the draw. Roslovic wanted to play it back. Kotkaniemi actually blocked it down from the Dowd clear, but couldn't find it. Dowd will clear it out. There's 25 seconds left for this group to work with. Roslovic for Stankoven along the right wing boards. Stankoven, he'll drop it back. Roslovic to Burns. Burns inside the blue line to Taylor Hall. Hall with a shot. That's snagged. That's a confident save from Logan Stankoven there, from Logan Thompson there with Stankoven out in front.
And I think it's smart because Hall knows he's a veteran. You were approaching the end of this Carolina power play, so take the shot. Now 12 seconds left, so now you can bring two defensemen onto the ice. I would have to think that was part of Hall's thought process.
Yeah.
As Dubois leaves the box, you don't want four forwards and one defenseman on the ice.
As Walker and Slavin are in, Walker with it across for Slavin, back to Walker. Walker's shot goes off of a leg, bounces into the corner, and in 4 seconds, Dubois will come out. Good play by Hall to keep it in. But now out of the box comes Dubois, and there's Walker to stop him from getting forward, but he's able to push the puck into the Cane zone. Walker in a fight for it along the boards. Hall reaches for it. He'll get it to Walker. Walker's got Roslovic with him. Walker holds, shoots, and scores! Sean Walker's first postseason goal, and it is a monster. Carolina goes up 4-2 with 3:15 left here in the third.
Mike, Taylor Hall came up with a puck at his own blue line, but he was in a standstill position, so he made the better play. He got it to Walker, who was coming underneath the... Roslovic, what a great middle lane drive.
Somebody check the roof, because I think it's missing. 3:10 left here in the third. 2-goal lead for Carolina. And now if you're Spencer Carberry, how long can you leave Logan Thompson in? Doesn't look very long. He's halfway between the circles.
He's got his arms up. Does Carberry? He's going now.
Andersen
He's
flex.
going back.
He deflects the pass, and that allows Carolina to clear. So he's got to stay in his blue paint as the Canes get this deep. Stahl tries to play it around Chychrun. Now here's a chance for McMichael. Thompson heading to the bench. Wrapped in for Andersen. Andersen tries to clear. Wilson knocks it down out in front. Carlson with a drive. He deflects it wide. Orlov with a big hit. Loose puck finds Stahl. Stahl up for Martinook. Martinook trying to play it around Ovechkin. Puck comes back to Stahl. He gets it up, and it's Andrei Svechnikov with it. Bingo! The empty net magic. And the Canes have gone up by 3. It's 5-2. Svechnikov, 7th of the postseason. And there is now noise with feeling here in Lenovo Center.
It is deafening. The empty net magician, Mike, you called it perfectly. He is the Harry Houdini of empty nets when you look at his ability to put icing on the cake. Stahl, Martinook, and then Stahl did the heavy lifting to get the puck out into the neutral zone. Svechnikov's initial shot was blocked, but he quick hands, gets the puck off of the block, forehand probably puts this thing into a wonderful bed.
Oh, the highest of thread counts and the deepest of sleep as the Canes are 2-10 away from a 3-1 series lead over the team that had 111 points, won the Metro Division, had the best record in the Eastern Conference. As this puck will be deflected high, and it will hit the netting above the glass. Canes were trying to get a delay of game. Good chance for me now, Chip, to remind everybody, Game 5, Thursday night in Washington, 7 o'clock during all road games this postseason. The Carolina Ale House in Cary has the ultimate viewing experience.
That was, call it a dog pog?
It is a dog pog.
Yeah, delay a game. The Hurricanes recognized that puck went into the netting above the glass, deep in the Washington zone, off of a cap stick cleanly. And boy, Mike, when you think about it, there are so many stories to be had. But how about, I'm going to pick two, Roslovic and Hall in the third period that those two guys have had, and Sean Walker, who has been A+ in the playoffs, the 8th goal from the Carolina Hurricanes defense in this postseason.
His 22nd career playoff game. That's not just his first goal trip, that's his first playoff point. And now here comes Brent Burns skating like a 22-year-old into the corner. Drops it back for Stankoven. There is more time in the power play than what's left here in the period. So Burns tees this one up, and that goes off of Dowd. And Washington can clear. By the way, as I was saying, be sure to join Stormy and the gang at the Carolina Ale House for the next watch party Thursday night for Game 5, where the Canes will have a chance to close this out. Carolina Ale House, exclusive sponsor of the Canes watch parties, as this puck is deflected. And there's 1:06 left in the third, and the Caniacs that are here in Lenovo Center can feel it.
I mean, so many highs and lows to this third period. But for me, partner, it comes down to, after Ovechkin gets on the board, the Caps on the 5-on-3, break Andersen shutout streak. Long stretch of shutout hockey. The rest of that kill, and then Roslovic with composure finding Hall for the, really, I think, the biggest goal of the game.
And now Carolina with a minute left. And they're still on the power play. Wilson, though, will drive into the Kane zone. Work it back out. Now Carolina bounces this for Martinook. Martinook, who got an assist on the empty net goal to Robinson. Robinson with it. Back for Gostasbear. Now Blake sends it across. Long drive. Oh, what a save. Logan Thompson, as he took that one away from Jacob Slavin.
Hurricanes defense through and through. You know, we're consumed by this series as Carolina guys, Mike. But aside from goaltending and special teams, you won't see a bigger X factor for me in the first 2 rounds in the NHL than the production from the back end from the Carolina defense. And if we don't have another goal in this game, they will have started the scoring here on this Monday night and ended it. Gostasbear, Walker most recently. But before, I'm sorry, Svechnikov's empty netter. I'm getting old.
No, I'm right there with you, because I just wanted to say I need to give that shot to Sean Walker. You were complimenting my eyes. Although it is loud here at Lenovo Center. Bone rattling, 9 seconds left. The Caniacs will take this 3-1 lead to the bank. The horn goes. Carolina now has a commanding 3-1 series lead over the Washington Capitals here in this second round. Frederik Andersen, stout again. The D